the other day.
Cannon had gone to church Sunday morning with his dad and sisters.
Everybody there just loved Cannon.
And Cannon just loved riding his bike, as he was doing Sunday evening in his dad's front yard on Archer's Road, his two sisters there with him. His dad, Austin Hinnant, was inside when he heard the gunshot.
I just scooped him up in my arms and held him, and I screamed, and somebody help me please help me save my son. God, save my son, please.
Hinnant looked up and saw his neighbor in the yard next door, gun in hand, pacing frantically.
I was looking at him as I was picking up Cannon, and I was so full of rage, but I couldn't leave my son's side. I just wanted to be with my son.
Hinnant's fiance called 911. He says his neighbor, 25-year-old Darius Sessoms, who lived with his parents, soon drove away. Police arrested Sessoms the next day, charging him with murder.
Can you explain why he would shoot your 5-year-old boy?
I have no idea why he would kill my son in front of his two sisters, his cousins. No idea.
Just the night before, Hinnant says he had Sessoms over for supper. They sat on the porch, drank a beer together.
Because there was never anything between me and him, any bad blood whatsoever, for him to have a reason to do this.
But those last moments with Cannon, unimaginable.
I can't imagine what it's like to hold your son finally suffering from a gunshot wound to the head as his blood run down my arm.
I don't even know where to begin. This is so heartbreaking. Do you not know how hard it is to talk about a child who was murdered? It shouldn't even be a talk. It shouldn't even be a conversation. It shouldn't even be real. Nobody should be out here killing children. But this ghetto thug right here that y'all see, this low life, this no good for nothing thug, murdering monster, killed this little boy. His name was Cannon, 5 years old. Went out to go ride his bike. A child should be able to go outside and ride their bike without being harmed. A child should be able to go outside and ride their bike and not have to worry about their life. This little angel, 5 years old, innocent, was murdered by this low-life ghetto thug. What in the world would make somebody shoot a 5-year-old? 5 years old! The boy was 5. Dude, do you have the devil in you? What would make somebody want to take the life of a 5-year-old? And you know what's sad? It took the media, it took the mainstream media a whole week to talk about this. If this was a little black boy and he was murdered by a white man, it'd be all over the news. It wouldn't have took a whole week. And y'all quick to bring up white people killing black people. Black people are out here killing white people too. But don't nobody want to talk about this. Don't nobody want to talk about little Cannon. Little Cannon's life mattered too. Taking away the life of a 5-year-old. A freaking low life. No good for nothing. This man don't even deserve to be on this world. And this monster, if you kill a 5-year-old, no. The judge needs to give you more than just life. They need to bring back the chair, because that's what he deserved. This man deserves the chair. Taking the life of a 5-year-old. But everybody want to talk about black people are the only ones out here being murdered. Shut that crap up. I'm sick of hearing about Black Lives Matter. Cannon's life mattered. Everybody's life matters. This should have been all over the news. It shouldn't have took a week. It should have been on everybody's television. Killing a child. Come on. And then the mainstream media tried to hide it. They didn't want to talk about it. Shame on them. Little Cannon's life matter too. Go protest for Little Cannon. Go riot for Little Cannon. Throw Little Cannon 40 funerals all across the U.S. He deserved it. 5 years old. Now he can't grow up to be who he wanted to be. Now his mama and daddy have to suffer for the rest of their lives. Nobody wants to wake up. Nobody wants to wake up and not see their child. Nobody wants to find out their child was shot execution style while riding a bike. Now his parents have to suffer forever. This is just ridiculous. But nobody wanted to talk about it. Well, I'm talking about it. And I should have known about this last week, but I didn't know about it. You know why? Because the media was hiding it. I found out about it because somebody sent me a message on Facebook and told me. Didn't nobody have to message me about George Floyd. You know why? Because it was all over the TV. But they had to message me about Little Cannon. You know why? Because it was not on TV. But if Little Cannon was black, people would care. It's sad that people don't care just because he's a white boy. Everybody's lives matter. We all bleed red. We are all God's children. We all matter. Shame on everybody who don't have nothing to say. Shame on everybody who don't care about this. How can you not care about a child's life being taken away? Little Cannon's future was stolen by this low-life thug who deserves the chair. Little Cannon can't grow up to be a cop. He can't grow up to be a doctor. He can't grow up to be a firefighter. He can't grow up to be whoever he wanted to be because this thug took his life. Y'all keep his family in your prayers. This is sad.
This boy's life mattered. You probably have no idea who he is and won't recognize his name when I tell you it. But I'm sure if I flashed up these pictures, you'd be able to tell me all of their names, when they died, and who killed them. So why isn't Cannon Hinnant, a 5-year-old boy who was shot in the head and killed while riding his bike this week, receiving the same attention that criminals like George Floyd and Michael Brown did? Where are all the protests? Where are all the marches? And where is the national outrage? There is none. And the reason is very simple. Because Cannon was white and his killer was black. Therefore, his life isn't important to Democrats, and it's racist to even report on this. The story of Cannon's death is one of the most horrifying and saddening things you'll ever hear, and the media silence is even sadder. WRAL.com reports, before he went to the funeral for his 5-year-old son on Thursday, a Wilson man tearfully recalled the boy's brief life and tragic death. Cannon Hinnant was riding a bike outside his father's home when a neighbor walked up to him and shot him in the head, witnesses told police. They were just playing in the yard like any other day, Austin Hinnant said Thursday of Cannon and his 8- and 7-year-old sisters. Hinnant said he heard a gunshot as his fiancee walked into the house on Archers Road at about 5:30 p.m. The article continues, Darius Sessoms, 25, was charged with first-degree murder in Cannon's death and was arrested Monday in Goldsboro. Hinnant said he has lived next door to Simmons and his parents for 8 years and even had him over for dinner just on Saturday. The Lord says to love our neighbor. I have plenty of food to go around. I just wanted to be nice, Hinnant said, noting that he and Sessoms sat on his porch and drank a beer. He said he had never had any confrontations with Sessoms. There wasn't anything between me and him, any bad blood whatsoever, for him to have a reason to do this, he said. After Cannon was shot, Hinnant said he scooped the wounded boy into his arms. I screamed, somebody, please help me save my son. Help me save my son, please, he said. The article concludes, a neighbor came over with an EMT bag, he said, adding that he fell to his knees and prayed aloud. You can't imagine what it's like to hold your son in your arms with a gunshot wound to the head and his blood is running down your arms, he said. Meanwhile, he said, Sessoms was pacing nearby, gun in hand, before driving off. I was looking at him as I was picking up Cannon, he said. I was so full of rage, but I couldn't leave my son's side. I wanted to be with my son, Hinnant said. He has no idea why Cannon was killed. Just yesterday, the Hinnant family said their final goodbyes to Cannon as they laid him to rest in Wilson, North Carolina. But Cannon didn't get sent off like a hero. He's not being treated like a saint, and he didn't die while committing a crime. He was an innocent 5-year-old boy that died a senseless death for absolutely no reason. And yet the mainstream media has barely said a peep about him, which is strange considering how much attention they gave to 12-year-old Tamir Rice when he was killed by police after aiming a toy gun at people in a park that everyone thought looked very real. And yet Cannon Hinnant, who was murdered in cold blood while riding his bike outside his home, gets silence. Matt Walsh hit it out of the park in a tweet the other day where he wrote, reverse the races, and this is the only thing anyone talks about for a month. Actually, I think it would be the only thing they talk about for at least 1 to 2 years if the left is still rioting over George Floyd nearly 3 months after the fact. Could you imagine the outrage if a white man senselessly shot a black child outside of his home? The outrage would far surpass anything we've seen with the George Floyd protest. Cannon Hinnant's life mattered too, unless you are racist. Someone's skin color should not be a factor when deciding if we should memorialize someone's death. If you are going to be selectively outraged over the deaths of only black people, but ignore the gruesome murder of a 5-year-old white boy, then I have some news for you. You are a racist. I have a lot more opinions that I want to tell you guys about this that I'm afraid would get me censored here on social media, which is why you need to go to libertyhangout.tv right now to watch the full uncut version of this video. I wish I could give you guys my full opinion right here, but we all know big tech won't let us. But if you go to libertyhangout.tv, you'll be able to see my uncensored thoughts. So not only has the left been completely silent about the murder of Cannon Hinnant, but when the mainstream media finally did decide to report on it, they approached it much different than any other story. Before I show you CNN's article about Cannon, let me show you some other stories they've written very recently. A new video shows another black man in custody pleading, "I can't breathe," before his death. After a white man repeatedly erased girls' Black Lives Matter chalk drawing in front of her home, neighbors stepped in to show support. White woman who called police on a black man birdwatching in Central Park has been fired. The black children who had guns drawn on them in a stolen vehicle mix-up are traumatized, the mother says. And then here's the headline that CNN wrote about Cannon Hinnant. A 25-year-old man has been charged in the shooting death of 5-year-old Cannon Hinnant. Okay. The propaganda here could not be any more clear. They only mention someone's race when they can paint white people in a negative light and paint a black person as a victim. But when the roles are reversed, it's just a 25-year-old man and 5-year-old Cannon Hinnant. In fact, in the article itself, there is zero use of the word white, zero use of the word black, and zero mention of how he was shot in the head. Whereas in this article, CNN made sure to let you know 8 times that the children in this video were black. And in this article about Amy Cooper, CNN was sure to let you know 6 times that she was white. Because obviously you can't tell from just watching the video. But when Cannon Hinnant was killed in cold blood by his black neighbor, Suddenly, the color of their skin doesn't matter anymore to CNN. There isn't even anything wrong with CNN's headline about Cannon. In fact, more of their headlines should probably be written this way and exclude anyone's race from the title. It's just hypocritical that race is only important to them when Whitey is the bad guy and the black person in the story is a victim. And it reveals all the propaganda behind the mainstream media and behind Black Lives Matter. If they cared about innocent lives, there would be huge protests in the street right now for Cannon. But the problem is that they don't care. And the only reason they don't care is because he was white. But I know you guys aren't that heartless, and you guys will care about Cannon's life and the lives of anyone else who dies, regardless of their skin color. That's why I'm urging you guys to share this video and share this GoFundMe called Justice for Cannon to help his parents with their funeral costs and grieving. You can find the link down below in the description. Let's say his name and let's make his photo just as recognizable as a photo of George Floyd. His name is Cannon Hinnant, and his life mattered too. Go to libertyhangout.tv right now to watch Caitlin Bennett Uncensored. Not only will you get to watch exclusive content from me, but you'll get to say you stood for the truth, you stood against radical leftism,
Yeah, we came too far in the darkest days. Don't know where we are or who we are. Yeah, we came too far in the darkest days. Don't know where we are or who we are. Yeah, we came too far in the darkest days. Don't know where we are or who we are. Yeah, we came too far in the darkest days.
Alright, what up, y'all? Planet the Fake for Kids. You know, this is another terrible story, and I was one of the first reporting on it. Cannon Hinnant and Darius Sessoms, the 5-year-old boy that was supposedly executed by a neighbor. Come to find out, the father, he's not squeaky clean. In fact, he was probably doing some things he wasn't supposed to be doing. The story got switched up, changed up to make it look like some type of racist-driven child execution, but it may not have been that. Check this out. And again, send prayers out to the family. This is devastating. But let's read some of these memes going around. Just to be clear, we did not find, and this is the police, we did not find any evidence to back the version of events the family has been claiming. The parents of Cannon claim their son has been shot at random for riding his bike into the neighbor's yard. This is not accurate. The version of events the suspect gave the police after his arrest was that Cannon's father invited him over earlier in the day to do drugs. They later got into an altercation after getting high. Darius claims he struck Cannon by accident via a stray bullet while aiming for the child's father. Preliminary evidence has so far lined up with the suspect's version of events. Both the suspect and the parents had prior history of drug use offense. While Cannon's father did admit that he invited Darius over during the day, he has refused to tell authorities what it is that they were doing. When police got on the scene, the father of the child was under the influence of what seemed to be some kind of illegal narcotic. We haven't found any proof of this being a pre-planned intentional motivation or intent to kill the child. Both of Cannon's parents are now under criminal investigation in wake of the new revelations. The GoFundMe for the family has been suspended indefinitely until the parents are cleared. Both of Cannon's parents have refused to take a lie detector test as requested by our agency. It gets worse. Alright, so we have Ethan Kilgore here, who was so spiffy and so swift to post statuses and stats. Search results for articles about George Floyd on CNN 1,705, MSNBC 100, ABC 53,377. Search results for articles about Cannon Hinnant, CNN 0, MSNBC 0, ABC 0. Let's go to Even Kilgore on Twitter now to see if he's reporting that the father is a meth head and meth dealer, and this was some type of crystal meth dispute. Dudes high on crystal meth shooting guns. I don't care why Cannon was killed. The fact that Cannon was killed is what bothers me. And if it was behind some drug deal and the parents just tried to lie to hide that drug stuff, they need to go to jail too. But let's go to Kilgore. Alright, so I was over here at Kilgore's, and this is him on August 14th. A lot of Joe Biden stuff. In conclusion, masks are stupid and don't do anything. That is all. That's a funny one. This one caught my eye, however. What they really want from a ninja, somebody let me know. What they really want from a ninja, somebody let me know. Let's get back to things. The only thing at the end of the day is Jesus Christ. That's funny right there. He. TV. Anyway, let's just keep going. Here we go right here. I wanted to see this. You wanted us to say George Floyd's name. We did. We want you to say Cannon Hinnant's name. Other than that, we have nothing else. Donald Trump stuff, Al Sharpton protests at UPS, where mine has never been a Bopo. I don't know none of this. No more Hinnant. No more Cannon stuff whatsoever. So that was just that. You see all this. No more. He's not reporting that the father was a meth dealer. He just moves on with other stuff. Yeah, they just drop that in their feed, keep it moving. They don't care if it's updated, that this was some type of botched drug deal. No problem. Let's get back to festivities. Now, the internet's been clapping back. This is Desi Tubbs. Someone please explain Justin for Cannon. His killer was arrested and charged. That's how the justice system works. What is it you're demanding exactly? What else we got in here? Stop using a child's murder as a pawn in your race war. You only want media attention because he was murdered by a black man, a criminal, not an officer sworn under oath to serve and protect your constitutional right to a fair trial. This family will not have to fight for justice because it will be served to them on a silver platter as it should be. However, Tamir Rice's family, along with Breonna Taylor's family, deserves the same justice served on the exact same silver platter. Celebrate this child's life, mourn his loss, but please don't use him as a pawn to please your own personal political agenda. Can't argue with that. I've seen conservatives, and this is 50 Shades of Way. I've seen conservatives ask, where are the protests for Cannon Hinnant? The killer wasn't a civil servant. The killer was caught. The killer will be jailed for life. This was a swift and appropriate response by the criminal justice system. However, the Justice for Darius Sessoms group is here. It's more. Alright, this is an interview the father did about a day ago, right? And I want y'all to keep in mind, while he's on the news, the truth of the story is he knew this guy, so his wife is there. You just saw her arm there. But the truth is he knew this guy. They basically smoked meth together. And they had some type of argument and dispute. And the dude came back with a gun, fired shots at him, mistakenly hitting his 5-year-old. I don't know how that is going to help the defense, but it is going to get the capital murder off the table. But I want y'all to check out this father playing cool and collective as he's lying. And he looks too pleasant for me, but let's see.
For 8 years.
Describe your relationship with Sessoms. Have you had any contact with him in the past?
We had just been cordial neighbors, like anybody else. We'd speak when we saw one another, and he may walk over and talk to me for a few moments, vice versa. I did offer him to have dinner with me this Saturday, the day before the shooting. And he had dinner with me, so I'm not sure what led up to this event.
So you say the two of you did have dinner prior to this shooting?
The day
right there. This is where all the lies begin. So he's just claiming that he offered this neighbor dinner out of the blue. Just out the blue. Yeah, just out the blue. Because he was grilling some chicken here. And he invited them over so they could drink a beer. This, that, and the third. Lie. They were using crystal meth together. The high sent them into some whatever. They got into an altercation. Sessom goes to either the car or comes back with a pistol, arguing with the father at his home, opens fires for whatever reason, kills a 5-year-old. This father is trying to cover up the fact they were using crystal meth together. You shouldn't be on the news then. You should be avoiding interviews.
Before, he was in his truck or in his car, and he looked like he had a lot on his mind, and I was cooking chicken on the grill, so I invited him into my home because we had extra food, as we're supporters of God, and I just told him that God tells us to love our neighbors. So,
can you describe his personality, his demeanor the night that you saw him?
Yeah, we don't need to hear that. You heard him, huh?
The night that...
Look, you see how he looks away with them beady eyes? Knowing that he's lying. They're meth heads. He sold them some meth. Probably some home-cooked trash bull crap. And dude ain't like it at all and came back bugging out. Probably thinking he was going to die. Off crystal meth.
We had dinner together. His demeanor was fine. We shared a beer together on the front porch.
Shared a beer together on the front porch. Trying to make this a good old boy scene. No, man. You, your wife, him smoking meth in the house. He bugged out. Thought you poisoned him. Came back with the gun to kill you. This is how tweaking he was. Came back with a gun to kill you on crystal meth. Killed your 5-year-old. You're on the news telling this story right here.
Chicken cooked, and once it was done, him and I both went in and made a plate along with my fiance and my 3 children. My fiance sat with my 3 children at the kitchen table while me and him sat on the sofa at the coffee table.
And what was your conversation like with him?
He seemed to be paired.
Sat on the float bed, coffee table. I want to rewind that.
What's your conversation like with him?
He seemed to be a beer together on the front porch as chicken cooked, and once it was done, him and I both went in and made a plate along with my fiance and my 3 children. My fiance sat with my 3 children at the kitchen table while me and him sat on the sofa at the coffee table.
And what was your conversation like with him?
He seemed to be paranoid that he thought a lot of people were trying to set him up. I think he may have had some dealings, and I know he had a prior record, so I don't know exactly what it was about, but I felt like he...
Alright, that's enough there. He knows damn well that they get arrested for crystal meth here and there. He probably sold him crystal meth. That other guy sold him some crystal meth. Who knows? But one thing, Len, maybe I'm getting it wrong. Who sold who the crystal meth? Now, this girl, she jumped the gun right as soon as it came out. She did her little video because a lot of people are just using this to combat Black Lives Matter. Like, Canon Hinnant, if anybody wanted to do a justice for Canon or Canon Life Matter, nothing's stopping them from doing it. They want people to stop what they're doing to do something else. Oh, let's do it.
This boy's
scattered. You probably have no idea who he is and won't recognize his name when I tell you it, but I'm sure if I flashed up these pictures, you'd be able to tell me.
Now, that was racially motivated there. I don't see why you have to compare crimes. They're all tragic events. But this is what people use. Now, keep in mind, the father had some type of crystal meth dealings with somebody. That somebody came back to the home and did the unthinkable. This is why you don't do things at your home with certain people. Definitely not under the influence of crystal meth. But let's let her run it with this was just a random racial killing and he wanted to take out a 5-year-old based on skin color, and everybody's ignoring the fact that this was a racial killing.
All of their names, when they died, and who killed them. So why isn't Cannon Hinnant, a 5-year-old boy who was shot in the head and killed while riding his bike this week, receiving the same attention that criminals like George Floyd and Michael Brown did? Where are all the
Because no doubt is similar to black on black crime that y'all constantly bring up. But I also want to say people in the comments are saying the difference is this guy Darius Sessoms isn't a sworn paid, took an oath to protect the laws employee of the state, city, or federal government. This is just a random dude high off crystal meth that the father probably either sold him or got for him. That was some beat. He wanted his money back. Dude didn't give him his money back. He came back with a gun high on some fake crystal meth. Shoots his 5-year-old in the head. This is terrible. This story is just disgusting.
Test. Where are...
Just found out his father is a meth dealer, and that was some type of meth deal gone wrong. Where are the parents to tell the true side of the story? We heard enough of her, or have we?
All the marches, and where is the national outrage? There is none, and the reason is very simple. Because Cannon was white and his killer was black. Therefore, his life isn't important to Democrats.
See how she looked away? By the way. So y'all saw that. Let's see if I can find Cannon's mother. This got too long. Alright, so I looked for Cannon's mother. I could not find her. Knowing the father is some type of meth head. And that's not even the father right here. This is like just some neighbor witness dude, because I didn't see no tattoo on the neck of the father that was on the news. So that's not even the father right there. That's just some dude that was on the news, tattoo neck dude. But yo, prayers out to Cannon. Do need a book thrown at him. Yeah, I don't think him being high on crystal meth, having a fallout, is justification for a 5-year-old getting killed. You understand what I'm saying? Just to avoid this, he needs to be an example of what not to be doing, and the parents need to be charged as well. I know you really don't want to do that. Not the parents, but the fiance. The fiance and the father need to be charged if they lied to the police as far as what led up to the shooting and things like that, man. Even though they don't have to say anything. I'm not saying locking them up for remaining silent. I'm saying locking them up for telling a lie and trying to obstruct justice. You know what I'm saying? So check this out right here. Planet of Fakes. With that being said, what you heard and saw was the content. For additional content, click the link in the description. Like, follow, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, visit my community wall, and if you have time, go to www.amore-eka.com/TV. That's our Planet of Fakes 2. We are the new umbrella. Planet
of the Fakes for Women. And Pig Star HH News. What about this boy? Nancy Grace draws attention to Cannon Hinnant's fatal shooting. Fox Nation host Nancy Grace lamented what she saw to be the lack of media coverage of the murder of 5-year-old Cannon Hinnant during a Friday night segment of Fox News' Tucker Carlson Tonight. Darius Sessoms, a 25-year-old Wilson, North Carolina man, was charged with first-degree murder after allegedly shooting Hinnant in front of his 2 sisters as he was riding his bike. Sessoms and Hinnant's father were neighbors and reportedly had dinner together the day before. Alluding to the race of the victim and alleged perpetrator, Fox News host Tucker Carlson asked, "Hi, haven't the media covered this story? What about it don't they like? When you put the picture up just then of Cannon, he was 5 years old," Grace said. "He was set to start kindergarten this week. I think back on my children, they went to kindergarten and what a big day it was, and now he's gone forever. And you're right, this case has not been covered and I wonder why too." Grace went through some of the known details of the case, then predicted that it would eventually be a death penalty case. Full link in the description. Like, follow, share, subscribe, and comment, hit the bell. And, if you have time.
Indiscriminate violence throughout the country, it's on the rise. Our leaders have decided to accept it. But maybe this crime will get the entire country to pause and ask, where are we going? It was the execution-style murder of a 5-year-old boy last week in North Carolina.
5-year-old Cannon Hinnant was riding his bike outside of his Wilson, North Carolina home over the weekend when police say a neighbor, 25-year-old Darius Sessoms, came out and shot him in the head.
Cannon was the kind of kid that was always polite.
You just could not help to be changed when you met Cannon.
Really, everybody just wants answers, for why this was done.
Cannon's father is confused by his son's murder, saying there's no explanation for why Sessoms would target his son.
There was never anything between me and him, any bad blood whatsoever.
It's really beyond. The suspect has been charged with first-degree murder. The question is, why haven't the media covered this story? What about it don't they like? Nancy Grace is a host on Fox Nation. She joins us tonight. Nancy, thanks so much for coming on. Make sense of this, if you would,
for us. Thank you for inviting me. Well, you know what? When you put the picture up just then of Cannon Hinnant, just 5 years old, by the way, he was set to start kindergarten this week. And I think back on my children, as you know them, John, David, and Lucy, and when they went to kindergarten and what a big day it was. And now he's gone forever. And you're right, this case has not been covered, and I wonder why too. This is what I know. I know that the families were friends. There had never been any bad blood between them at all. Now, according to family members, the motive was that this little boy, it was a Sunday afternoon, 5:30, broad daylight. They had gone to church, they'd gone to lunch, they were out in the yard playing. The little boy rode his bike into the neighbor's yard, and the defendant, according to eyewitnesses, multiple eyewitnesses, 25-year-old Darius Sessoms, comes out, holds the gun up, and shoots the child point blank in the head. I predict this will be a death penalty case.
It's just, look, I've said many times, and I mean it, that I don't think you should draw broad societal conclusions from a single horrific crime. The media specializes, obviously, in that, and some of those conclusions are misleading, if not lies. But to ignore something completely, and they ignore murders, by the way, every day on the south side of Chicago as well, you really get the feeling that news coverage is guided purely by political imperatives. Purely.
Well, it seems to me that right now, with the concern over COVID and not going back to school and the issues surrounding that and the protests all around the country, even attacking a Ronald McDonald House while sick children were inside cowering. That's all the headlines. What about this boy? What about justice in this case? What about my children and your children? They deserve to get just as much attention as all of the other headlines.
Yep. Yeah, they're liars. Nancy Grace, one of the most direct.
Planet of the Fakes 4 Kids. And Pig Star HH News. What about this boy? Nancy Grace draws attention to Cannon Hinnant's fatal shooting. Facebook opinions. The man was troubled, as the boy's father said. I saw an interview with the father. He invited the neighbor in for dinner the night before because he felt he needed a neighbor, only to lose his little boy to him. How heartbreaking can it get than this? Our society is getting so out of control. Before you rant on what I am not saying what you think I am saying. This can't continue. BJM, you did exactly what I thought you would do. There are no excuses, just like there are no excuses for killing millions of babies in the womb. We need to take care of all these problems, not just one area but all areas of a society that is loses its soul. Enough of you. BJM, I was not making an excuse. A little boy gets executed, his life here is gone. And people want to argue about racism and systematic injustice and go on like he didn't even matter. Pathetic. The guy needs the death penalty. He's just going to get a housekeeper, cook and free medical. All these comments bringing race or BLM into this have reading and comprehension problems. Fr. Did he get a day of televised funeral and a gold casket? After all, he is a little boy, not a criminal. Annette Sturzel, but he was white, that's the difference. Annette Sturzel. I figured BLM would call the murder some form of reparations, a liberal DA would refuse to prosecute the case and the MSM would blame the victim. Roger Weigel, BJM, BLM nor race has anything to do with this. You sound uninformed or must have very poor reading and comprehension skills. Harmon Williams. Just like race had nothing to do with the death of George Floyd, Roger Weigel, sir, stick to the subject. This POS was mad at the boy for riding his bike on his grass and instead of letting it be as a child playing, he killed him. George Floyd was due to police brutality. Apples and oranges. Harmon Williams. Are you saying race didn't play a part in either of these deaths? Roger Weigel, if you informed yourself on both situations you wouldn't have to ask that because you would understand there is no similarities or motives shared between them. Hence their name, Black Lives Matter. Yet even to them a black child's life doesn't matter. Thank you, Nancy Grace, for giving this child airtime. Didn't hear about him in the big news stations, and it should have been. Jane Bulerski, he's been in every news station in this country. What you mean no airtime? Richard Rogers, it took days. Richard Rogers, that's great news that he got coverage. I get to see news a little in mornings and sometimes late at night, I just haven't seen anything. There was no airtime on my TV. Great, you got to see it. Richard Rogers, yay, okay if I say or think it. Nope, not enough airtime for me, but if other way around, yay. I'm more than RDY for a war. Mary Page, exactly. This boy died due to hate. Instead of using this as an agenda to continue to hate our fellow human beings, it's time we grew up and realized if we continue the way we are, nothing is going to ever change. Kimberly Woods, an evil person who walks up and executes a child is not my fellow human being. Full link in the description. Like, follow, share, subscribe, and comment. Hit the bell. And if you have time, thank you very, very, very much. Go to.
My baby didn't deserve this. He had the biggest smile, the biggest eyes, an infectious smile and personality. Loved go-karting in his bike. That was 5-year-old Cannon Hinnant. His mom, Bonnie Waddell, says she lost a piece of her heart Sunday. Lost a big piece of our family. He changed all of our lives. He touched everybody that he knew.
People don't run across the street and kill
not only for her, but for Cannon's 2 sisters and 7-year-old aunt who watched him die. This man took my girls, he took my baby. They know that he's in a better place. While 25-year-old Darius Sessoms is in jail facing charges for killing Cannon, family and friends say they're still I want death penalty, and I'm going to seek it.
I agree with Cannon's mother that we're going to seek the death penalty.
$500,000 GoFundMe though.
Memorial park for Cannon, where kids can go and ride their bikes, since he loved that so much. While grief and questions weigh on this mother's heart, I love
that GoFundMe suspended.
I'd love to know why this happened.
Where's the third one? What are your dates?
Change this world.
Hi, we usually don't like talking about tragedies like this.
Yeah, especially in
we like our videos to be lighthearted, but I think it's important that we do discuss this topic.
Right.
Because we need to paint this picture to the left
and the right.
And the right. All right, we usually don't like talking about tragedies like this.
Yeah, especially
we like our videos to be lighthearted, but I think it's important that we do discuss this topic.
Right.
Because we need to paint this picture to the left
and the right.
How the media is pretty much destroying this country. It's destroying race relations.
Yeah.
It's just tearing this whole country apart.
Yeah, like when you look at our TVs, that is not journalism.
Yeah, it's
tribalism.
Yeah,
they painting black versus white, gay versus straight, Christian versus Muslim.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't even look at. I mean, I look at the news from CNN. I look at Fox. You need to, when you look at the news,
remain objective.
Remain objective. Don't believe what you hear on Fox, and really don't believe what you hear on CNN.
Yeah,
you need to take this information from both sides. And you need to make your own decisions, your own determinations.
Yeah, this country is the greatest country on this planet.
Yeah.
And as proof, there's millions of immigrants that's non-white just trying to get here.
Risking life and limb.
Just to get here because it's a land opportunity. But the story that we want to discuss today is happened in North Carolina. It involved a 5-year-old white kid.
Yeah, by the name of Cannon Hinnant.
Yeah, he was just riding his bike.
Mind his own business.
His sisters was out there watching him ride his bike.
Right.
And when a neighbor by the name of Darius Sessoms, who happens to be a black guy, just came over and shot the kid in the head.
Now,
and
to our knowledge, there were neighbors. They were cordial. They even knew each other.
Yeah, the Darius Sessoms, the guy that shot the 5-year-old in the head and killed him, he actually sat with the kid's father, and I think they ate food.
Yeah, ate dinner, broke bread together.
Right, so which is really bizarre.
Yeah, but the main thing we want to say in this video, we're not gonna paint black versus white in this video.
Yeah, I don't know what was the motivation behind this killing. I just know it was pure evil.
Yeah,
and it was a tragedy.
And everybody should walk away from this video knowing evil come in all colors: black, white, brown, and in everywhere in between.
Yeah, but again, the reason why we want to discuss this story is not to exploit death like the left does all the time. If these roles were reversed in this story, if Cannon was a black kid and he was killed at the hands of a white guy,
they would paint this as a white supremacist, and we need more gun control.
Yeah, this would be mainstream news.
Yeah,
but because it's a white kid
and it's a black man who killed a white kid, you ain't gonna hear anything about this.
And this doesn't surprise me because in Chicago, when young black kids, where this happens routinely, you don't hear no mention this mainstream media because it's a black kid dying at the hands of another black person. If it was white involved, then it would be front page news. That's why we're talking about this story, because the media is pitting left versus right, black versus white.
Yeah, they're exploiting black death for political gain. That's why we're doing this video. It's to tell, especially to you black folks, and especially to you white people on the left that's feeling guilty because you're white. They're exploiting both of y'all. They're using white guilt and they're using blacks to destroy this country.
And they're exploiting the racist past of this country to exploit you emotionally. Why are they doing that? Politically motivated.
Yeah, the only reason why they talk about a black man down at the hands of a white man is because it gets hits, it gets views, and it grabs votes. For one party, the Democrats.
This was just a white kid riding his bike. He wasn't some guy getting pulled over by a white police officer, punching the cop in the face, taking his taser, or getting into an altercation with a couple guys
holding a shotgun
because you was supposedly on somebody else's property when you shouldn't have. When they're trying to make a citizen's arrest and you grab that gun. This was none of that. It was just a white kid. This should be mainstream news everywhere.
But the media is telling black men, and they're exploiting white guilt, that black men are being hunted down like they're animals. No, they will leave out very important details, very important facts.
Black Lives Matter started on a lie, and it was proven by Obama's Justice Department. That hands up, don't shoot. But Mike Brown,
that was all a lie.
That was all a lie.
And that white police officer that was cleared, they ruined that man's life. And you still see people today, black people and white people, who feeling guilty because they're white, wearing shirts saying, hands up, don't shoot. Because these people have not did their research.
Yeah,
they also was cleared. He was justified in shooting that man.
Yeah.
That's why we want to do this video. The only reason why you won't hear about Cannon and stories like Cannon, or about kids Cannon's age in the inner cities of Chicago, Detroit, because the media can exploit them.
Yeah. I think it's sick that the media does that. And that's why we have riots going on in this country.
Yeah.
Not because this is a systemically racist country. The media has done an excellent job in panning to everybody.
Yeah.
A lot of people in this country, that this country is systemically racist, and that white men are actually hunt down black men. That's why I can't stand behind Black Lives Matter, because now it's in sports, it's in NBA, the NFL. Black kids 8, 9, 10 years old, they're exploiting them because they're watching it and they thinking their life doesn't matter. And that's the whole point. This is all politically motivated.
That's why I'm not going to look at an NBA game. Nope. I'm not going to look at one game. I'm not going to even look at the playoffs because of what y'all stand for. Y'all standing up for a lie.
Yeah, so
that is all a lie.
This is meant for people on the left and the right, because I see people on the right starting to fall for this.
Yeah, you're being exploited.
Yeah, evil comes in all colors, and it all should be put in the forefront when it happens, regardless of race. That's why when you see stuff like what happened in El Paso, Texas, with that mass shooting, it was horrible. It should have got news. But if that shooter was black, it wouldn't have got front page news.
Yeah, they painted that white mass shooter. What they say? We need more gun control. He's a white supremacist.
Yeah.
He targeted people of color.
Yeah.
No, he was a radical. He was an evil person.
Yeah.
Why are you going to pin us, divide us based on that man's race and based on his victim? No, evil is evil.
Yeah, they do it because they can exploit people for votes. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Go to officialhorsetwins.com and pick you out a patriotic t-shirt today. Hell, I'm even giving you 20% off. Just type in discount code Chinese Virus. We call it Chinese because it's from China. We making t-shirts great again. Yeah.
Woke up this morning with something on his mind. Larry is mad. Now let's see why. I'm mad. Are you mad, man? Are we
Ah, man. Hashtag Larry Mad today is being brought to you by Roof Chris. And you know, Power 98 Roof Chris presents a special $80 gift card for only $50. Right now, you can get a Roof Chris $80 gift card for $50. All you got to do is available for a limited time at the Uptown location or the South Park location. Of course, you can log on to power98fm.com or roof-chris.com. Make sure y'all check it out. But that 80 for that 50 is pretty good at Roof Chris, so don't get that. All right. Hashtag Larry Mad. Of course, on my Instagram page, I am No Limit Larry. Today, Larry is mad at Darius Sessoms of Wilson, North Carolina. This young man walked outside of his house and proceeded to find a 5-year-old kid riding his bike and shot this boy point blank range, execution style, outside. The boy's dad ran outside and Darius was still standing there, because I don't know if he was in shock that he did such a thing or he just was dead cold-blooded. Stood there. The boy's dad couldn't even move because all he could do was grab his son. And they actually had like 911 audio. I didn't want to play it this morning because it's just that terrifying and it's just that horrid. But what would make a human being walk outside of their house, find a 5-year-old kid, and shoot him point blank range in the head, execution style? And then you wait, and then you leave once the man called 911. You take off. They did catch Darius. He is now in police custody up in Wilson, North Carolina. They found him in Goldsboro. But man, I don't know what's on people's mind. I don't know what's on people's heart. But a lot of people are saying, man, I can't believe nobody's talking about this. Where's this kid's outrage? Because the kid that he shot was white. And I always say on our show, like, you know, my thing is, man, we got to protect our youth. It doesn't matter the color, man. We got to protect our youth. A 5-year-old kid, and now here in Charlotte, you know, a couple days ago, a 2-year-old kid was shot. But come on, man. I always say it, and I'm going to keep saying it. We have to protect our kids. We got to do something about these guns in and out of our city and around the world right now, especially in the United States. We got to do something. But Darius, I hope they, in the words of Burpee, fry your ass up. Fry his ass up, Burpee. Because no parent deserves to bury their child, but no parent deserves what this man's dad got. No parent deserves that. To hear and see your 5-year-old son get shot and you got to go hold him in your arms. Man, hit the hashtag Larry, man.
If you can march for George Floyd, you can march for Cannon Hinnant. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Blue Falcon Report. My name's Aaron Cabrera. This is about my third video, and I hope you really like this. If you do, like, share, and follow this page, okay? But today I want to talk about a little boy named Cannon Hinnant. This little boy was 5 years old, and he was shot for the color of his skin, riding a bike down the road. Horrible. I want to make things very clear to everybody. Marching for George Floyd's death, there was nothing wrong with that. Okay. There's a few things I want to point out so that everybody understands. The man was a felon resisting arrest who was unintentionally killed by a police officer. I say unintentionally because he didn't shoot him. He was trying to subdue a guy resisting arrest. Isn't it funny that they released the body cam footage after the police officer was prosecuted? A lot of police officers, too, or people in law enforcement will know and will tell you that the second you give a guy a little bit of room, they will either run off or bolt. I've seen videos of it. It happens. Now, I'm not saying George Floyd's killing was justified, because it definitely wasn't, and that cop got what he deserved. But you're trying to compare that to a little boy that was riding his bike down the road, innocently, not doing anything to anybody. And it's messed up because I feel like that if that child would have been a minority, and he'd have been shot by a white guy, it would have been totally different. The news took a week to talk about it. This is horrible, guys. And everyone on the internet saying, oh, you know, marching for him? For what? But march for George Floyd? The criminal? Come on, guys. Really? You know what's funny? At the beginning of the BLM protest, most of America, Republicans and Democrats, most of them were behind the BLM movement until it started becoming violent and telling people to defund the police department. You know, most of these police departments love people. They're just doing their job, and they're always on edge because there's people trying to kill them. Over 80 police officers were killed last year. You know how many are killed right now? Over 110, and we're only in August this year. I urge everyone to go look at the Federal Bureau of Statistics and look at some numbers there, and it's kind of scary. George Floyd marching, justified. Cannon Hinnant marching, justified. And those people are saying, what are we marching for? You're marching for children getting shot all over America with illegal firearms from criminals. Because guess what? I can tell you, you can't find an NRA member within the last, I think, 20 years that has shot up a school. Because the NRA isn't the problem. But I do want to say this. I want to say thank you to all of the Americans, I don't care what side you lean on, left, right, libertarian, that are spreading his name around the internet and letting it be known. Let it be known. Don't let people tell you that 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 boy isn't just as important, because he is. Because we're all human. So thank you for sharing that video. I really appreciate your time, and God bless.
Hey guys, what's up? So I was following a story on Facebook about 5-year-old little Cannon Hinnant of Wilson, North Carolina. Was playing in his backyard, or his front yard, sorry. Shot point blank by a grown-ass adult man named Darius Sussens. And where's the media coverage? Where's the riots for Cannon? Where's everything? This little boy had everything in the freaking world, and it was taken in 1 second by a supposed to be family friend of Cannon's father's. And I don't see no media outcry, no news coverage of this little boy, or anything. A 5-year-old. I couldn't even sleep last night because of this. Because it was on my mind that everyone cared about George Floyd because he was black. This is a child. A child. I don't even know what else to say. I'm fucking sick. Like, really? Where's justice for Cannon? You guys all scream Black Lives Matter, and you all scream that this was wrong. Riots in the street, burning buildings, protests, looting, rioting. Like, come on. A 5-year-old little boy. Of everything, you guys sat there and screamed George Floyd's name, but no one is screaming Cannon's name. What is wrong with America? There should be riots for fucking Cannon, but there's nothing. Like, this was supposed to be a family friend that shot him. I don't care about the color of either one of their skin, but it's the fact that you guys scream Black Lives Matter. You're all proactive about Black Lives Matter. What about this kid's life? Did Cannon not matter? Did he? Where's the media coverage? Where's NBC, MSNBC, CBS? Where are they? I didn't find this out until 3 days later after he was shot and killed. That I seen people post it on Facebook. Like, come on, America, wake the fuck up. All lives matter. Everybody. George Floyd's life mattered. Cannon's life mattered. That's all I'm gonna say. This is just ridiculous.
Say his name, Cannon Hinnant. Cannon's life mattered. It's time we affirm that all lives matter, and yes, that includes both George Floyd and all children, regardless of skin color. On Sunday, 5-year-old Cannon Hinnant was murdered at point-blank range by a 25-year-old convicted felon named Darius Sessions. Darius Sessions is a convicted felon. He approached Cannon Hinnant while he was playing on his bicycle. Sessions walked up to the 5-year-old, pointed his gun, and shot Cannon at point-blank range in the head. Cannon's two younger sisters saw this on Sunday. The running story on why? Cannon rode his bicycle through Sessions' yard. And where is the media? While the media lectured us about the death of George Floyd to a police officer for months following George Floyd's death, despite prosecutors withholding police body camera footage for months, meanwhile they have been silent on the death of a 5-year-old boy, just like they were silent on the death of 7-year-old Natalia Wallace, 1-year-old Deval Gardner, 11-year-old Devon McNeil, 8-year-old Sequoia Turner, and all the other children that have been gunned down as a result of BLM's Black Lives Massacre. Why is the media silent about the murder of children and outraged at the death of George Floyd? Perhaps it's because these children, these deaths, do not fit their narrative. Now let me be clear. George Floyd is a life. All lives matter. But when we say all lives matter, we mean that Sequoia Turner matters, Natalia Wallace matters, Deval Gardner matters, Devon McNeil matters, Cannon Hinnant matters, and yes, George Floyd matters too. But the hypocrisy of the media and the left to blatantly ignore the murder of Cannon Hinnant because it does not fit their narrative, worse yet, he was not black, so he really did not fit their narrative. Can you imagine if a 25-year-old white man shot a 5-year-old black child at point blank range? Barack Obama would be on TV the next morning telling everybody that could have been him.
Trayvon Martin could have been me 35 years ago.
The media and every single Democrat politician and Al Sharpton would be telling you that this was a racially motivated execution-style assassination that every black person has had to deal with in their lifetime. And yes, there would have been several funerals for Cannon Hinnant, covered by every mainstream media news outlet. But Cannon is not black. He's white. So there is no outrage in the media. In fact, CNN, NBC, ABC, and CBS, there hasn't been a single mention on TV or an article written about him as of last night. Not one. And where is LeBron James and the rest of the NBA, the National Beijing Association? Do lives only matter if they're black? Can a crime only be racially motivated if it happens to a black man? Are we going to see black CEOs shining the shoes of white people like we did the CEO of Chick-fil-A? Well, we all know the answer to that is no. And where are our Republican senators of North Carolina? Why aren't they pushing to lock up convicted and habitual violent criminals who have a history of committing violent acts and violating their parole? No wonder these Republican senators are doing so poorly in North Carolina. They have no backbone. They're not fighters. They're total empty suits. So say his name, Cannon Hinnant. Cannon's life mattered. And the mainstream media has done their best to totally sweep it under the rug, totally ignoring Cannon's murder because he was white and murdered at the hands of a black man. It's time we affirm that all lives matter, and yes, that includes both George Floyd and all children, regardless of skin color. This is the fight. That is today's 10 count. From Washington, this is John Ben-Suhu. Thanks so much for watching. Godspeed and God bless. Join me tomorrow as we continue to knock the out of bad liberal policy.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning. How's everybody doing? I'm just trying to let a few people get on here before I take off. Second morning in a row dealing with this ignorant stuff, and I ain't even gonna let it distract me or none of that. I'm gonna say what I got to say real quick, and I'll be done with it. And you closet racist people can keep continuing on in your little circles calling me racist. That's just weird. Every time I stick up and say anything about racism, I'm racist. Want some more people to get on here. Hopefully the clowns are watching, because they're definitely a group of clowns. What's going on, Craig? I'm just waiting on a few more people to get on here, and I'm just going to take off with what I got to say this morning. I ain't going to hold y'all up too long. Okay, I'm just going to take off, y'all. Now, over the last couple days, last few mornings, man, when I wake up, I'm seeing people making Facebook posts in regards to Cannon, what's his name, Hinnant? I don't want to say the young man's name wrong, Cannon Hinnant. The last couple of days when I wake up, white folks are sharing, his death and his murder, and they're using it to try to discredit BLM. First off, BLM ain't had nothing to do with that little boy's murder, okay? Now, here's the problem. Y'all asking, where's the media coverage, right? White folks are mad saying, where's the media coverage? Where's the outrage? Where's the protest? Protest for what? Because the monster that killed this little boy went right to jail. Immediately went to jail. So what's the issue? What are y'all mad about? How do you think we feel when people like Ahmaud, Arbery, when he got killed, when he was minding his business, running through a suburb, and the white men gunned him down, and it took weeks to get his killers arrested? So what's the problem? So really, who's the racist? Y'all guys, every day, y'all post slick stuff that, well, BLM did this, BLM, anything to discredit BLM, and BLM ain't had nothing to do with it. Just ignorant. I'm ready to read this real quick because Ashley, my friend Ashley Moore, she broke this down the best. And like she said, before I go any further, I'm going to say what happened to that sweet boy is a tragedy, and his life did matter. Cannon Hinnant's life did matter. That's why the man that killed him is sitting in jail, because Cannon's life did matter. All right? So you ask, where are the protests? Here's my questions. And again, I'm reading what Ashley wrote, Ashley Moore. What's stopping you? If you feel so strongly about his slaying, you have a constitutional right to do so. But what are you protesting? Give me a second. Okay. So, but what are you protesting? Darius Sessoms was immediately taken into custody and charged with first-degree murder. He went to jail. It took days for George Floyd killer and accomplices to be taken into custody. It for Ahmaud Arbery's killer to be taken into custody. And Breonna Taylor, who was sleeping in her house when they kicked in the door, her killers are still free. So these cases are not the same. Cannon Hinnant will get justice. Black people have to fight to get justice. So stop trying to devalue the BLM movement because you refuse to educate yourself on what's it all about and what's really going on in our country. And that's what I got to say about that, because there's a group of racists in on their feed right now calling me racist because of a comment I made on somebody's feed yesterday who was trying to be slick. Right now they're being slick sharing this post. Where's the outrage? Where's the protest? There's no need for it. The black man that killed that little white boy is locked up. He's in jail. He's never going to see the light of day again, and that's where he's supposed to be. The problem is when, for instance, y'all saw what happened in Indianapolis. The white man killed the black teenagers down in Indianapolis. Y'all know his bond is $25,000. He's walking around right now on a $25,000 bond. So you tell me whose life matter and whose life don't matter. Again, sometimes you got to say Black Lives Matter to remind y'all. And I'm not even a member of the movement. That's something else right there. But I'm not going to ramble on and on. I just want to make y'all aware. This is what they doing. Just trying to be slick. That slick undercover racism. Y'all don't have to get on there and say the N-word no more. You know what I mean? Y'all got other slick ways of doing it, and you're showing yourself you're racist as hell and trying to call me racist for speaking up. You know what I'm saying? I made a comment on somebody I grew up with on their post the other day, and I said, well, maybe it's even then, because this dude right here, the white dude that killed the black man walking around free, the black man that killed the white boy is locked up. So what's the problem? I don't get it, but I'm racist for saying that. Man, I ain't worried about y'all. I'm finna go about my day and getting ready to do some news today and bring you guys some news. Peace and love to everybody, and y'all have a good day as we get ready to enjoy our weekend. All right.
"5 days ago, Cannon Hinnant, a 5-year-old white boy that was riding his bike in his front yard, was shot in the head and killed by a 25-year-old black man who happens to be his neighbor. the entire situation is incredibly sad. The killing was unprovoked, unjustified, and extremely unfortunate. And all of that goes without saying, right? The loss of an innocent child's life is something I think all of us can agree on is just about the worst thing in the world. But I don't understand why this is being compared to George Floyd. I don't understand why this is being used as a reason to prove that Black Lives Matter is a false movement. George Floyd and Cannon Hinnant have absolutely nothing to do with each other. The crimes are unrelated. The murders are not similar. And the circumstances of the murders are not similar. These comparisons don't do anybody any good. I've seen online questions asked like, where's your outrage now over Cannon? Where's your protest now? Where are the t-shirts? Where are the rallies? Where's the pressure? Why don't you care about Cannon? It's not a fair standard. To say that people can't care about George Floyd and Cannon, or to say that people only care about George Floyd and not Cannon, is just not true. But since you asked, the reason why there's not protests and riots over Cannon is because there's not protests and riots over most murders. A lot of people are killed in this country every year. And I'm not glad about any of it. But much less often is someone killed due to systemic racism. Less often is someone killed due to racial injustice in the criminal justice system. Less often is someone killed for being what they were born, specifically for being a certain ethnicity, and in the case of George Floyd, Black. I hate that Cannon's life was taken way too soon, but it was not taken because he's white. And yes, I know his suspect, who I refuse to name in this video, was Black. But he did not kill Cannon because he was white. And while George Floyd started a conversation in this country, it's not a new conversation. We've been talking about racial injustice and systemic racism in this country since this country was founded. We've been talking about the unfair treatment of Black people in America since this country was founded. I hate what happened to Cannon. I want to make that painfully clear. My heart breaks for his entire family, and this is so unfortunate. But it's not going to start a larger conversation about all of the young white children that are at risk for being murdered by Black people, because it's not a problem. It's definitely not a systemic problem. It happened in this case, but it doesn't happen all the time, nor is it a problem that you could point to with anything real to back it up. Black men in the criminal justice system are at risk. Systemic racism is real. Racism in general is real. So when we get fired up about George Floyd or Ahmaud Arbery or Breonna Taylor, that's why. It doesn't mean we don't have sympathy and empathy for the Cannons of the world. It just means that he wasn't killed for the same reason. It was a senseless act of violence. But it does not point to a larger systemic problem. It's a very isolated incident. That's the difference. But I shouldn't have to explain that to you. We shouldn't be having this conversation about how Cannon is proof that Black Lives Matter only cares about black people. No. Black Lives Matter cares about racial injustice. That's what the movement is about entirely. So you can't expect people to get mad about every loss of innocent life. Innocent people get murdered in this country every single day. You won't hear a word about most of them. I just find it strange that people are using Cannon to say that Black Lives Matter doesn't care about innocent white children being killed, or that the country in general doesn't care about innocent white children being killed because they're not raising the same amount of concern that they did for George Floyd. I think I've already explained why that is. People care, and it's horribly sad, but it doesn't point to a larger problem. People had to take to the streets. They had to protest. They had to say George's name just to get charges. Cannon, who deserves justice, I want to make that clear, will get justice. The suspect is already in custody. He's already been charged with murder. It took less than a day. The situations aren't the same. We're still waiting for justice for Breonna Taylor. That's the difference. It's the systemic difference. I hate that a kid was killed in his front yard. I mean, this is America. We shouldn't be reading headlines like that. But we also shouldn't be comparing them to someone else that was murdered just because you don't like the movement that sprung up around it. That's all I got. Simple today. No intro, no script, just my thoughts. If you want to waste your time comparing Cannon and George, you can, but you're not proving any points, and you're not doing anything constructive.
What's good, man? It's your boy Amapo. Hey, man. I don't know. This is a touchy topic. In North Carolina, that the little boy lost his life that was 5 years old. To this guy, I guess, whatever reason, I'm getting my information just like you getting your information from the news, the media, the sources, or whoever the case that was there. They claim that the man just hopped out this crib, just came out this crib, walked up across the street to the little boy, shot him in the head for whatever reason. Now look, I don't know too much about the story, just like you don't know too much about the story. But I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. This is a controversial story, bro. And this story gonna play out. They're gonna use this story as long and as much as they can, bro, to incite whatever agenda they pushing, and they use people like this and other people, they keep it going, they keep it pushing, bro. Like I said, bro, I'm from Chicago, bro, just from today and on back, little kids, little 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds, I'm talking about babies, be getting shot and killed 24/7, 7 days a week, And I'm not saying their life is better than his life, or his life is better than life. No, but it's the way it's having used. You have a black man who so-called walked up and shot a little white baby in the face, or a Hispanic baby, and they go and since Black Lives Matter out there and stuff like that, this is a controversial story because they can use this and they can run and they can say whatever they want to say to get anything started, bro. This pick alone can get a race war started if they push it, if they keep tweaking it enough and they push it a certain way. This thing can get some things started if they really wanted to, bro. Me personally, I'm gonna stay up out of it. I'm not gonna speak on it. He don't speak on this, but I gotta speak on it, bro. I'm speaking on this because I don't know his side. I don't know the little boy's side. I just know both lives gone. And this mama, whoever this child's parents is or grandparents is, hurt. just like the rest of them in other cities. In other cities, kids was getting their head, I'm talking about blown back, killed, but it didn't hit. It didn't hit the media like this story we going to hit, bro. You know, and it's no different. Grown people out here killing kids for no reason. Because there's no control, there's no foundation, it's no laws, it's no restrictions, it's nothing going on in the community. So people just doing whatever, bro. You know? Alright, bro, I'm not finna get upset. I'm not finna look like a fool like this, bro. This man is a fool. And he don't understand that he been played. He been used, bro. You should have seen this and kept it pushing. But since you're talking about it, I'm going to talk about you, bro. Bro, I understand what you're doing. I understand what you want to talk about. I understand. But, bro, you pure acting off of straight emotional, bro. And this is not helping that situation. This is not helping their parents at all. You know? Because just like if you could talk about this story, you could talk about many other stories of other kids that got killed, bro. Recently. Other kids was getting killed, bro. Few kids in Chicago just got killed, bro. Got killed recently, bro. And they didn't hit the media like this. But let's be honest. Since the killer is black and the child is white, it's a controversial topic. We can make this into something. We can pass laws. We can tell you on what Black Lives Matter ain't doing. Well, Black Lives Matter never did enough for the black community anyway. But we can use this against them to show them. Y'all talk about black people this and black people that, but look what they doing. Look, pay a fucking attention to what's going on. You're getting played. So for y'all, bruh, have remorse for this family, but have remorse for all family. Just don't look at the pigment of somebody else color of the skin and then look at the crime and the criminal. Bruh, don't get involved into that. Look at that situation and be like, that's fucked up. But it's fucked up on all across the board. All line, bruh. You know? One story will go up better than other stories. And it's, you know, if you understand what I'm saying, should one story be getting more views on it than the next story, bro? But they all the same crime. They all the same criminal. You know, they all the same bullshit. People need to get hurt, bro. Bro, if you out here doing some fucked up shit in this world, you need to get your ass hurt, bro. You need to get taken out, bro, for what you doing, bro. You know? But this is foul, bro. This is wild, bro. You know, but they ain't gonna talk about it. Like I said, bro, it was kids in Indiana, New York, Chicago, Milwaukee, everywhere, bro. Mississippi, Florida. The kids was getting shot, and then nobody find they killer. So it's good they haven't found this killer, but they threw it out there quick. They found this killer quick, but this killer's in Chicago still getting away. They killed kids. It was one little girl. I think it was one little girl, one little boy. Excuse me, bro. I'm sorry, bro. You know, I ain't getting into all the story, but it was one family. They was in McDonald's. The little baby, all she was doing was looking out the window. A bullet came through and took her out, straight through the head. That ain't, bro. That ain't getting a lot of controversy on top of it, bro. You ain't see a lot of people speak on that, bro. You ain't see a lot of people talk about that, man. You know, so like I said, bro, bro. Come on, man. We can't pick and choose which story you want to talk about that's good for headlines, and then which story that's not, or this always happen all the time. You know, you're like, come on, bro. This is a game. Yeah, this is chess. While you playing checkers, bro, these people at the top playing chess. They know exactly what this going to lead to. They know exactly what's going on. This the second person, so-called black man. Now, I don't know if he did it, but just from the look of this picture, it looked like he did it. You can say that he did it. But this the second black man that so-called killed a Hispanic person, bro. You know, or white. Oh, I guess it's maybe white. But bro, this the second black man that they hit the news feed. They hit the media. They hit the airways, bro. The second one. They killing other races, bro. They know what they doing, bro. Don't get caught up into that shit, bro. Look, it's him and other people that I be watching. You know, but I watch them every now and then. I don't watch them all the time, but I watch them every now and then. Bro, you about to get some shit started, and you don't even have all the facts. You don't even have all the stories, bro. So I want to speak on that, bro. I seen this, I let it go. I know what it's finna do. I know what it's finna lead up to. I know what's finna happen, bro. And if this keep going this route, it gonna incite a war, bro. People gonna start fighting amongst each other, bro. You know, but like I said, let's be honest, bro. Black man, I'm speaking to you. Black man, I'm talking to you, bro. Your life is a danger, 24/7, 7 days a week. Anybody can say anything and feel and do anything to you, and just be honest, the law will probably back them up, bruh. But let you do some, say some, or even defend yourself or fight back, bruh. You the enemy behind the state line, bruh. You are the enemy, bruh. People are looking at us to look for us to do something just so they can agree or attack or think whatever and say, yep. Just like in the movies, just like in the TV shows, just like in the advertising, just like, bro, you are the enemy, bro. And people gonna back them up, bro. Your own people will turn against you, bro. I wouldn't, bro, me personally, I would've never touched this, bro, until I got all the details. Just like other stories, I haven't touched any topics of babies yet because I don't have all the details. I'm not finna touch that until I got everything facts. Other than that, bro, you're just working off pure emotion, and this dude is just working off pure emotion. And they love seeing a dude like this who feminine. No disrespect to you. No disrespect to all that. But they love seeing a black man going against another black man. Oh my God, they love it. I don't know how many endorsements he probably just got off this one video that he put out. But he shining light. And people, every media company that trusts this story, bro, they don't give a damn about that child, and they definitely don't give a damn about this black man, period, bro. It's all about ratings. People using this for ratings, bro. They don't give a damn. If they gave a damn, bro, they talk about all the rest. And motherfuckers be in the street trying to stop that shit. But they not. But this one they is. People gonna be in the streets now to talk about this. People gonna be up in arms to do something about this one, bro. Because we know what it is. The man is black and the child is white. You guys say it for what it is, man. I'm up, boy. Like and subscribe, hit your boy up, man. Don't get caught up in this bullshit. It's all bullshit. This is being used, bro. This is being used, and they finna be tweaked to get something started, bro. And that's how they beat it. Wanted to, bro. They've been pushing laws. They've been taking rights, bro. It's time to go. All they doing is getting, bro, they ready for a war to break out so they can enforce martial law on everyone. Remember that. Remember, bro, if this video touched your screen, bro, or your cell phone, your computer, your TV, whatever you watch me on, they want something to get started. That's why they've been picking up. That's why they've been allowing people to do what they want to do. That's why they want something to kick off. And you think because of color of your skin that you can't be locked down on the government? That's, bro, you done lost your damn mind. You a damn fool out here, bro, to think that the color of your skin can't stop you from martial law. They want something to break out, bro. They want people divided, bro. They want people to go at it, bro, so they can keep it going. Y'all better wake up, bro. You better see this for what it is, man. Shit that hit the airwaves like that, bro. And it hitting 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm talking about everybody talking about it, and it hitting millions and millions and millions of people. They want you to go grab them guns and knives and all that, go meet up and go fight. They want you to terrorize. They want you to burn. They want you to go do shit. So they can come in and kill all of y'all. And all y'all blood gonna be standing next to the street. Man, you better wake up. You better see this for what it is, bro. I'm sorry that happened to all the families. That little kids lost their lives, bro, to Indian people. But don't get caught up in that, bro. Don't get caught up in that, bro. It's not gonna matter, bro. If you white, if you black, if you yellow, if you green, if you red, if you orange, if you purple, it don't matter. Everybody bleed all the same. Everybody bleed red. Your ass will be on the concrete, blooded, shot up, bro. And they gonna be somebody in military uniform, bro. No, don't get caught up in that, bro. Don't get caught up in that, bro. I'm just saying, man. Look at this, bro. Bro, I ain't even finna listen to nothing he's saying and all the others. Cause, bro, I've been seeing this video. I've been seeing the post, everything. I pass it up, bro. Cause I know what they trying to do. I know what the media is trying to do. They trying to incite some shit. They want your ass to go out there. See, the media push it out there, bro. But the first thing they're gonna say, if it ignite and if it gets started and people start fighting against each other, they're gonna say, well, we ain't had nothing to do with it. We just put the story out it. We just a media. That's all we do. We just tell the stories. Whether if it's real or fake. We did this for ratings. That's what they gonna tell your dumb ass. While you out there losing your life, just like motherfuckers out there losing their life looting, just like motherfuckers out there losing their life protesting, and for so on, bro, you gonna lose your life, bro, trying to go out there and ignite a race war, bro. And bro, and I'm talking to everyone. I'm talking to everybody that if this video get to you, bro, don't get caught up in that shit, bro. Don't get caught up in there, bro. You get caught up in there, bro, you gonna get yourself killed, bro. You gonna lose your life early, bro, for some bullshit. And the media is still gonna be making millions. You gotta ask yourself, why they doing this, bro? Why is they doing this? They couldn't do it with George Zimmerman. They Michael Brown. Bro, just go back and look at all the stories, bro. They couldn't do it with the man. What's his name? Just 3 months or 4 months ago. I can't even get his name out, bro. It was George something. They couldn't do it with him. You know, they tried to do it with Duck in Chicago, but then they did it with the little boy. With now it's the number looting going on in Chicago. But now they might think they got a chance with this story. You fall for that shit, they gonna come and wipe your ass out, bro. Trust me. They know what they doing with this story, bro. They know what they doing. Just like they tried to get it going with the girl that lost her life, that got killed in the army, bro. The Hispanic lady, Hispanic female, man. R.I.P. to her, bro. They and the black dude, bro. They trying to get this shit at night, bro. They trying to. They want this shit to go down, bro. And if you foolish enough to fall for that shit, they gonna you gonna think you won or whatever case it is. Now you think they gonna take me out, they gonna take your ass out too. They're gonna take you the fuck out. Hey, be stupid, bro. Be stupid, bro. Don't allow this shit. This some bullshit. It's no bullshit to this child and this man for losing their life, bro. But this some bullshit right here. This is bullshit. Alright, bro. I ain't saying no more, man. I'm just let this man do all this hooping and hollering.
Being taken away. Little Cannon's future was stolen by this low-life thug who deserves the chair. Little Cannon can't grow up to be a cop. He can't grow up to be a doctor. He can't grow up to be a firefighter. He can't grow up to be whoever he wanted to be because this
thug took his life. Y'all keep his family in your prayers.
See what I'm talking about? But bro, it was just recently, bro. It wasn't recently. I just seen though. It's the same video. It's the same topic. It's the same story. There's another a black boy that was 7 years old got killed. And on his paper that he was holding in his hand, he said he wanted to be a cop. Somebody killed him. Killed him. Straight bullet went through his head. Took him out. Bro, your kids is being targeted. While you out there hooping and hobbing about somebody else's story, about somebody else going through, somebody out there protesting somebody else, bro, your babies is being targeted by somebody. Somebody out here targeting kids. Not only they targeting them for sex trafficking, they targeting them just to kill them. Your babies is out here being targeted. Man, y'all better wake up, man. But stop getting man, that's why I preach individual. Let's stop getting caught up in that shit, bro. This is shit. This is shit. This is shit. They don't give a damn about this boy. They don't give a damn about him, bro. It's about ratings. It's about getting something united. It's about getting something ignited. It's about something getting started. And they gonna keep playing this story, bro, because they want something to get started. So they can come to take your nigga ass out, your wetback ass out, your spit ass out, bro. They gonna your group, your everything, bro. Whatever race you call yourself is, and whatever name language, they gonna come get rid of your ass, bro. They not gonna give a fuck. They not gonna give a fuck. If a race war break out today, they coming. They gonna come once that shit done, and they come to scoop up everyone. Everyone come to get scooped. Let your dumb ass fall from this shit. Let your dumb ass feed, bro. Don't feed into that shit, bro. No, alright. I'm done, bro. Fuck it. I already said I was done. I'm done, man. I'm done.
This will not be a super long live, but I did want to address it. I know that there are some people who are still not happy with my earlier live and my post that followed up. As you can see, I am not at home. I am still at my daughter's house and assisting with the kids and things like that. But I wanted to take a second to just address the things that I see happening. And just how crazy it is to see everything that I'm seeing on my timeline, the things that people are posting, and the things that people are saying. Hey, Mindy B. So I want to go ahead and tackle this subject and get it out of the way. And I want to give you all some facts because, you know, I am amazed at. You need something, baby? Okay. I am amazed at the number of seemingly intelligent adult individuals, hey Kiana, who are just running rampant with these conspiracy theories, and there has to be an agenda behind every single thing. And I want to first, I want to give enough time for folks to get in here. Yes, sir.
Where is my piece of paper? Oh, I think
I didn't move it.
I got it.
I want to give some information for folks. Hey, Debbie Goodman. so that you all kind of have a little bit of a reality check. The idea that people believe that the media didn't cover this boy's shooting because the guy who is the alleged shooter is black is crazy. Hey, Jonna. Hey, Christy. And I'll tell you why. It is not it is not the case that this didn't make the news at all. It made the local news, right? Which is common. Girl, this is what's called I cut my hair last weekend and have not had time to fix it in 2 days. So just lay that stuff down and keep it pushing. But in most cases, you all, it is very rare for homicides and for child homicides to go national. Bubby.
I need to go.
Okay. It's not like I need for people to really understand that it is a rarity for murders and child murders to make national headlines. Like it's just not something that generally happens. So I think when people say mainstream media didn't cover this murder, that's not correct, actually, because the local news, the local ABC, CBS, NBC, those are mainstream medias, right? They did cover this murder. It didn't make national media. And there's a difference between those two things. So am I making sense with that first distinction? I want to make several distinctions in this broadcast. Don't flush, Bubby, okay? Huh? It means don't flush. Okay. So, I want to see, first of all, if everybody's following what I'm saying, that there is a difference between news coverage being completely missing and completely lacking and it just being reported locally, because that appears to be what has happened in this case. When I go back and I look, there are news reports on his murder all the way back like 4 or 5 days ago, like the next morning after it happened. There were news reports. They were just local, right? It didn't make national news. And the reason it did not make national news is because it wasn't a national murder. Here's what I mean by that. I have read several, and when I say several, I have read about 6 different news reports on what happened. Go ahead, baby. I have read about 6 different news reports on this murder. And the gist of them, yeah, I say Bubby. The gist of them, all of them say the same thing. All of them say that this guy, Darius, what is his name? Sessoms. Darius Sessoms has been neighbors with this family for a while. And apparently he knows the dad, right? And the dad and the suspect, who is in custody and has been charged with first-degree murder, they apparently had dinner last Friday or Saturday night together, according to the neighbors. And earlier Sunday, the Darius Sessoms was at their home. So what this appears to be is, I hate to say it like this, but this appears to be a normal murder situation in where the people are acquaintances, they're neighbors, they know each other. It's not a random racially motivated murder. So when news agencies, especially national news agencies, are determining what stories they are going to run nationally, there has to be something exceptional about a story for it to get picked up nationally. And I know that sounds like, oh my God, well, every death matters. Every death does matter. Every child's death does matter. I want to point out how challenging that would be from a national perspective. So I did a little bit of digging, and I'm going to give you the link, okay? But according to the FBI's Uniform Crime Statistics, in 2018, there were between the ages, our children between the ages of 1 and 19, in 1 year, in 2018, there were 1,817 murders. Not deaths, but actual homicides, 1,817. Okay. So out of that 1,817, that would mean that the news, the national news, would have to be reporting on average about 5 child murders, not male murders, not female murders, but just child. If we just focus on children, the national media, which is what we're talking about, would have to be covering 5 child murders every single day to cover 1,817 from 2018. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know, I mean, that's just the reality of the world that we are in. You want to change that reality? Then we need to start servicing each other and having the appropriate resources within our families, our communities, and our neighborhoods to prevent these things from happening. Because, you know, we're blaming the media for not reporting the murders when, like, well, how did we get to this place that almost, you know, that over 1,800 of our children between the ages of 1 and 19 are being murdered every year? How did we get there? Let's not be mad at the media because they're not covering every single one of them, right? I'm just saying. So, like, every single one, like I said, I read multiple news sources, and every single one appears that these families knew each other. They were neighbors. There's nothing racial about it. It just seems to be something, I don't know what happened between these two men, but something happened between them, and this man took his child's life as a result. He is in jail. He is incarcerated. He is being charged with first-degree murder, as he should be, and that's that. My original live earlier today was because there's a meme going around where people are comparing his murder to the news coverage behind George Floyd. They are not the same thing. They are both heinous in nature. They are both unconscionable. They are not the same thing. One is the murder of an unarmed black man by a police officer for 9 minutes with his knee on his neck, right? And the other is another acquaintance murder that happens all the time in our neighborhoods that shouldn't happen either, but it does. Now, I want to give you all this. So when I was looking, something really stuck out to me, and I promise I'm going to post this picture, and I'm going to give you a link so that you can see it for yourselves. But here's what I noticed. So listen, between the ages of 1 and 4 in 2018, between the ages of 1 and 4, 129 white children were murdered. Okay? Between those same ages in 2018, 113 black children were murdered between the ages of 1 and 4. Between the ages of 5 and 8, those numbers are 37 for white children and 34 for black children. So in both of these circumstances so far, the numbers are not that different. In the ages of 9 to 12, the numbers for white children being murdered is 28, and the number for black children being murdered is 26. Okay, so very similar, like neck and neck. Here's where it got really crazy. Okay, all right, Jonna. Here's where it got really. This is when I got stunned by the numbers. So listen, when the children turned 13, Jamie, I have those, but they come, there's like several different tables, and this table is just ages and race and ethnicity, because then the table that breaks it down between immediate family member and mom or dad doesn't also break down the racial categories and age categories. So I'm doing age and race right now, but check this out. So when the children go from 12 to 13. So when they hit a teenage years, from 13 to 16, listen at how the numbers change. White children who are murdered at the age between the ages of 13 and 16 are 119.
I'm gonna go upstairs, but I'm gonna come down.
Okay, baby. 119 for white children, 186 for black children. Now, do you guys remember the stat I was sharing with you the other day about 1 in 1,000 black men can expect to die between the ages of, like, I forget the ages now, but it was like this sweet spot of age. It was like from 13 to 20 something, right? Listen, look at that jump, because the numbers were so similar at 12 and under, 28, 26, 37, 34. When they hit that teenage year where our children start to look like young men, the numbers changed. The white numbers for ages 13 to 16 was 119, and for black children, 186. Check this out. From the ages of 17 to 19, in 2018, 364 white children between the ages of 17 and 19 were murdered, and 712 black children were murdered. It's damn near double, y'all. That's almost double. Then from 20 to 24, the number for white children, it still calls them children or adolescents, children are 764, and blacks 1,369. From 25 to 29, 760 and 1,402. The numbers change so dramatically for black children when they hit 13 that it is almost double the number of white children murdered once they hit their teenage years. Now, let me just say this. Every single one of us, this little boy was 5 years old, right? Cannon was 5. At 5 years of age in 2018, 37 white children were murdered in 2018, and 34 black children were murdered in 2018. So between the ages of 5 and 8, we had 71 children murdered in 2018. I did not hear this outcry back then. I did not see anyone protesting. I didn't see anyone. You guys, listen, local media picks these murders up, but very few of them get picked up nationally. And that is something that we need to remember. This is not some media divisiveness. And for those of you all sharing this meme and sharing these posts, you're being divisive about an issue that does not exist in this scenario. And in fact, when you start digging into child murders, you will find that those numbers are even up until the teenage years, and then they are dramatically worse for black children. So if anyone should be upset at the media not covering the deaths of our children, it should again be black folk. I'm just saying, we have to stop this. Everything is not a conspiracy theory. Everything is not the media with some agenda. We have to stop blaming the media for the hatred and racism and divisiveness that exists within our country, and start taking responsibility for ourselves and for what we do. I'll have to check it out, Isaiah. But I just need you all to really stop and think. In my live earlier today, I stated that Cannon's life matters, because it does. It absolutely does. It is not a comparison to what happened with George Floyd. They're not comparable. They are two tragedies that existed and happened for two separate reasons, and in two very different situations. They should not be compared. They need to be addressed equally. Child homicide and police brutality are two different things, except in the cases where the children die at the hands of police. I don't know if you all saw, but 2 days ago, the police arrested an 8-year-old boy for hitting a teacher, and his wrists were too small for handcuffs. He was 8. Why would we ever traumatize our children and put them in handcuffs at the age of 8? Because it's the school to prison pipeline. And we put 70,000 of our children, we arrest 70,000 of our children every school year. And about half of them are under the age of 10. We are literally traumatizing our children instead of finding out what's going on in your home, instead of making sure that they are getting the appropriate social services and mental health services and health services, and making sure that they have food to eat, and make sure that, you know, all of their needs are being addressed. We are criminalizing them as early as possible and putting them into this prison pipeline for privatized prisons and money. You want to talk about we need to save the children, then we need to do it not for political purposes, not for racial agendas, but because we actually give a damn about our children. So I'm going to give you guys that link very quickly. Here it is. And there is the link to the table that I just read to you. And you will see that it is specific homicide data, and you will see that it's from 2018. You will see exactly what I'm talking about. And it's just crazy. And get this, you guys, when the ages get to 35 to 39, the numbers start to get equal again. The numbers get equal again once you get to 35. But from the age of 13 to 34, you will see that Black and Africans or African Americans are murdered at a rate of 30 to almost 50% greater than whites are. Those are the real data. That's the real numbers. So just understand the difference between mainstream media, just that blanket terminology, and national media versus local media. And stop being manipulated by your emotions, and be open to why are you reacting to a certain post or a certain meme in such a manner. You know, does what you're posting really address the issue? Or does it address your underlying prejudice or your underlying bigotry? Are you using a situation to make a point? Because I believe that some people are, not everyone. And again, I am not saying that this boy's life does not matter, because it 100% does. And the perpetrator is already in jail and charged and going to be held accountable. That is not something that we oftentimes see in the case of African Americans. Ask Breonna Taylor's family. Okay? So hopefully I've helped you all with some information and some data that you find useful. I'm sitting in the floor because I don't want to wake Bella up over there. And, you know, my daughter's having a really, really rough time right now. She has a specific diagnosis with this pregnancy, and it's been very, very, very rough. I think today from 9:30 until 3:30 p.m. I was back and forth with her to different appointments and getting some things done. So just really, really rough. And we still have some more to go. But anyway, I appreciate you all for tuning in. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Please share that link, share the data so that people understand, you know, because people need to understand what the real truth is behind these things. So I'm out of here. You guys be good to each other, be amazing, be light, be love. Thanks, Thea. Peace.
Coffee drinkers, I'm gonna wait for y'all to come on in. I'm gonna wait a quick moment. I got a little food going on. I'm gonna wait a quick moment. Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm just gonna wait for a couple people to come in. Wait till we got just at least one viewer. There we go. That's all we needed. Hello. Dude. I don't know if you, oh, that's you, Shatiri. I I don't know if you as mad as me, okay? But y'all, I couldn't get home quick enough. Hey, baby, I couldn't get home quick enough. I couldn't get from work quick enough. I couldn't change out my clothes quick enough. I ain't even ate my food yet because I'm so like, y'all, it's not even a black or white thing anymore. Like, now it's just like rational people with compassion and hearts and crazy. I don't even want to say it's like left or right, and I don't even want to call them lunatic liberals, but this is what the liberal brainwashing does. Cannon Hinnant, a 5-year-old boy. Guys, the comments that I'm seeing behind this young man, this young boy, okay, being shot in the head are deeply unsettling. I'm like, is this happening? First of all, you see people talking about, it's no outrage because the killer was caught right then, and there's no reason to like press the issue. Pretty much saying that if black criminals or if black people get shot by the police, it takes a long time for us to get justice. But my thing is, hold up. Chauvin was arrested immediately after Floyd died, okay? And then, I'm not even about to get into Breonna Taylor right now because y'all gonna be mad. Y'all gonna be mad about Breonna Taylor. Y'all gonna be real mad. And you're not asking the right questions, okay? Y'all mad at the police. What about her boyfriend? What about her boyfriend? Do y'all know that he sprayed at the cops? That is why Breonna is killed. That's why she is dead right now, because he opened fire on the police. I don't care about none of that. Oh, if somebody walk in your house, you're not about to start shooting. That is a criminal mindset. Somebody walk up in your house in the middle of the night, the first thing you do is start shooting. Yeah, if you're a drug trafficker, if you're a criminal, okay? He shot at the cops. His girlfriend gets sprayed up, okay? And he walk away free. And people keep talking about justice for Breonna Taylor. Kenneth was pardoned when he should be under the jail right now. Okay? And that's just what it is. So y'all keep talking for Breonna Taylor. The officer's not gonna get arrested. Okay? Because it was knee deep in drug trafficking. And it was unfortunate that Breonna lost her life. The police chief or whatever in Louisville felt the same way. Okay? And guess what? Kenneth got pardoned. And that's the end of that. Okay? I'm tired of hearing about Breonna. Y'all trying to justify George Floyd. Man, y'all trying to justify Cannon with George Floyd. How you compare a 40-plus-year-old meth addict to a 5-year-old baby? Please make that make sense. On what planet are we making sense, liberals? Y'all, it's not even about black or white anymore. It's just about ignorance, okay? Lawlessness, and just unprincipled people against people with compassion, people with hearts, and people who can understand what's real and what's not. A 5-year-old boy got gunned down for nothing, and y'all talking about there's no reason to be outraged because he was arrested right then. Are y'all crazy? Are y'all crazy? Do you know that Chicago, and I'm not talking about y'all, I know y'all not crazy. I know y'all not, they crazy. Do y'all know, people talking about peaceful protests. Do y'all know what's going on in Chicago? Chicago just got looted again. Not to mention the hellish summer that they just had with all the babies that got slain in Chicago. And y'all talking about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter don't care about your black life. And I'm so pissed off because you see people talking about support Black Lives Matter, ain't even read about what they support or about what they're trying to do. They just out here talking about that's gonna hurt us in the future. But let's talk about this baby. First of all, prayers to that family, because I cannot imagine the grief. And it's just so outside and beyond me that you have people that are really just trying to like gloss over this, and you can't even put yourself in the shoes of the parents. To mention the sisters who saw their little brother, 7 and 8 years old, witnessed the murder of their 5-year-old brother. That is astonishing to say the least. And guys, I'm just so upset to see all these people. I can't think of like one. Let me just try to think about one comment off rip. Yeah, people were just talking about, oh, well, I'm like, yeah, that was their biggest excuse. I'm like, unlike Floyd, unlike Breonna, unlike Ahmaud, unlike, and then it's like y'all rattling off criminals. We're talking about babies, okay? And I know that they said Breonna wasn't a criminal, this, that, and third, but she had a drug dealer boyfriend. And that's, listen, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. We all know that we should not be caught up with we all know that that's a dangerous life. You don't gotta be no rocket science to know that having a drug dealer boyfriend or drug dealers around you, violent criminals, will put you in danger. So I don't even know what y'all talking about, okay? But y'all don't want to have no sympathy for Cannon? Because he's white, and then you see the media didn't want to cover. Now you see it on CNN, but even the wording, a man gets arrested for, no, but if he had, listen, if the roles were switched, a white man, 25-year-old white man shoots down a 5-year-old black boy, and people will be trying to steal and destroy our country more. This is brainwashing, and this is evil on a whole nother level. I cannot believe the hearts of man. That people are really out here trying to justify a 40-year-old meth head, okay? George Floyd was killed because of his own stupid choices. I don't know if y'all seen the body cam footage, but he really excited his death from the point of the officers coming to the car till he was on the floor. And if he would have shut the hell up, he probably could have saved his breath. Okay? Or he probably could have just went to jail because he was in the process of committing a crime. He was high off of meth and fentanyl and about to go drive. But y'all out here trying to lose all y'all marbles trying to defend a criminal named George Floyd. But then you want to sit up there and justify the senseless tragedy of a 5-year-old boy getting shot. Y'all are out your mind. Y'all are out your mind. I couldn't get home quick enough. Guys, I'm so upset. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm living in the freaking, I don't know what's going on. But the stuff that I am seeing, and then you see it from white liberals too. Brainwashed white liberals soaked in white guilt, talking about let the boy rest in peace. Oh, I wish we could let Breonna Taylor rest in peace. I wish we could let George Floyd rest in peace. I wish we could let... Because, listen, we don't know what type of peace he resting in, okay, because he lived a hellish life, all right, period. Okay, we should let Ahmaud Arbery rest in peace. Y'all bring up Michael Brown. Y'all bring up Eric Gardner. Let them rest in peace. How dare y'all say that? How dare? Oh my God, I'm outraged. Y'all, oh my gosh, I've been fighting back tears. And then you just see people talking about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. How dare y'all? And that just lets you know how evil the organization is. People are using that organization to justify the death of this little black child. That's how you should know right there that the organization is straight from hell. Okay? Because ain't nothing right about the little boy getting shot. And ain't nothing right about our biased national mainstream media not wanting to cover it. Because they knew that it would destroy their whole narrative about, racism in this country, this, that, and that. Well, guess what? He killed that little boy overweight. And I got to thinking too, that man, oh yeah, my cat up here. I'm about to have to spray her down. Let everybody can get it. Nah, but come to think about it, that man, Darius, he killed, I don't know Cannon's father's name. I just feel so bad for their family. Oh my God. But he killed his only son. I think there's something to say about that too. You know, I'm not even talking about white or nothing like that, but he killed his only son. I don't know if it was jealousy or nothing like that, but literally ran outside, shot the child point blank in the head and ran back inside. And people really over here trying to compare that with what happened to George Floyd, bro. Y'all are out y'all mind. Y'all are out y'all mind. George Floyd didn't have to die. But don't nobody want to talk about that. George Floyd should have just got arrested. Oh, but maybe he was too high off of methamphetamine and fentanyl to just go to jail. Not to mention dropping a baggie of cocaine in the handcuffs. Y'all are tripping. I'm so upset. Y'all, this is liberal media. This is liberal media. This is why all them people... Get down, baby. This is why all them people trying to come against Trump, all those people who are brainwashed, those are the same people trying to come against our president, trying to act like racism is ruling America. People are making it hard for us in this country. And guys, I'm not going to be before y'all long because I'm ranting and I'm hungry, but I just have to get on here and really speak my piece. Check it out. Let me know. Hold on one second. Oh, yeah. Y'all ask me questions. I see it's only 7 of y'all on here, but look, it's 8 of us together. Okay. And I want y'all to engage. Check it out. Let me know if Brianna or her boyfriend at the time of the shooting had a past record. Yes, there is evidence. See, now I watch Officer Brandon Tatum on YouTube. Now, he has like evidence because he used to be an officer that they have not released to the public yet. But there is evidence, video camera of boxes, packages leaving that house. And the house, and it wasn't the wrong house. Yes, the main house on the warrant, that criminal or whatever had been apprehended. But this home, Brianna's home, letting her boyfriend traffic drugs out her house, her home was on the warrant. It was one of the vehicles for the drug trafficking. So this is what's going. Let me tell you. You know how to stay away from police brutality? Stay away from stupid crime, okay? Because the police, let me tell you something. The police ain't about to run up in my house. The police not running up in my house. Okay, because I'm not committing no crime. And guess what? In the middle of the night, if somebody bang on my door and they rush inside my house, I'm probably not going to start shooting because I'm trying to figure out who the heck running up in my house. I don't got no beef. I don't got no issues. But that lets you know right there. Because he started shooting immediately, lets you know that they were drug dealers. Criminal mentality. But don't nobody want to talk about it. That is a criminal mentality. You start shooting immediately as soon as somebody, don't get me wrong. If there is an intruder, listen, if there is an intruder, I think that we have our rights. Our rights are reserved to defend ourselves, okay? But my thing is, it don't make sense. It don't make sense. So the police come in, okay? He starts shooting at the cops. Brianna was killed because of an exchange of gunfire. Do you know if he would have just let the cops raid it, or if he wouldn't have shot, Brianna would still be alive? And guess what? Because the police unit did feel bad about it because of the plain clothes and maybe the no-knock, but the no-knock warrant was ordered because of the way that the drug traffickers operated. They wanted to catch them in the act. That's why it was a no-knock. But the police, the police, they felt bad that Brianna died, and Kenneth was released, pardoned, when really he should be in jail right now for shooting at the cops. Kenneth got away with not one injury. How your girlfriend gets sprayed up, okay? And then they talk about she was in the bed or sleep. That's not facts either. Brianna wouldn't sleep, and she also was not an EMT. But they're just going to let facts, and I'm not saying that any of that matters, because I'm not saying that Brianna should have lost her life. No, of course I'm not saying anything like that. But what I'm saying is you need to, hold on, I'm going to answer you. I'm going to respond in a second, Shatira. What I'm saying is you need to ask the right questions. Kenneth, how you didn't get shot and Brianna got sprayed up? That's the question. But don't nobody want to ask that. People, I see it every day. Justice for Breonna Taylor. Justice for Breonna Taylor. People just talking out the side of their neck. And then, you know, with this situation with Kenan, I'm just amazed, y'all. I am floored. I am absolutely floored at what I'm seeing. I'm absolutely floored at people just talking about, oh, just let it be. Guys, the Bible said, y'all, that evil will be called good and good will be called evil, and the love of people will wax cold. When you see people trying to justify to the death of black criminals who were terrorizing the black community, not doing anything to uplift the black community, but they won't, or they just want to brush past a 5-year-old being viciously murdered, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with that. There is something wrong with that. And that's exactly what God was saying was going to happen. You know, so I'm happy I'm a little calm now. Y'all making me calm. Let me see. What I don't understand is why everything I say about Trump, everybody think I'm right. Because it's a liberal brainwashing, babe. It's a liberal. It is the left. Like, I'm so happy that you're waking up. Just go ahead and keep, like, doing your deep dive, girl, because you're going to figure out so much more, and you're going to be free. All these black people running around talking about Black Lives Matter and racism and oppression and all that, nah, that's not the case. That's not what it is for us here in America in this day and age. A lot of us are making the issues for ourselves. And guess what? Donald Trump is the best thing that happened to our country, and we're going to keep him in office. And people justifying, man, people don't want to talk about Cannon, but they support Kamala. Bro, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Y'all mad at the police, okay? Y'all mad at the police for kneeling on Floyd, but y'all want to give Kamala a pass. Like Kamala give a doggone about any of y'all. Like, how is it not so plain to see the left is pandering right now. Joe Biden chooses Kamala Harris, okay, as his VP. Do you think that that really means that they care about black people? No, it means that they think that we are stupid. And when you see so many people, because put up any black anything, we just Kamala Harris, bro. Kamala Harris don't care about, she care about that money. She care about that power. But what I am excited about though, is now President Trump really has something to compete with, because Biden, they pretty much rolling Biden around right now. At this point, they're rolling him around in a wheelchair. Like, Biden don't even know where he at. If you look in his eyes, Biden has a whole vacancy. Like, next time you see this man talk, look in his eyes. Okay, but he's not there. He's gone. Like, he's left the building. But now, you know, with Kamala Harris added on, now President Trump, look, now we're about to see him. And, you know, y'all know President Trump get, you know, he gets saucy. You know he gets saucy. He ain't gonna hold no punches. So when it come down to that debate, listen, we're gonna see. You know, but at the end of the day, our President Trump, he's going to take the election like cake, because y'all, we need to get our power back, because these liberal loonies, these lunatics, white and black, it don't have nothing to do with, it's almost like, it's not even race, it's not even about racism or white and black anymore, left and right. It has to do with people who want to see America fall and divide it, and people who want to see our country thrive and really be great. You know, and so I'm going to do my part to keep President Trump in office. God already told me he's going to win. President Trump not getting out of there. If y'all see anybody else talking about Biden and Kamala go win, guess what? It ain't the word. Just happened to come across your life, and I just wanted to thank you. You're speaking so much truth. Oh, yeah. Get yourself into politics. You will go far. Oh, thank you, babe. Hey, listen, I'm trying to get into politics, but I got a checkered past. I'm playing. No, I'm joking, but shoot, you know, I'm not scared of my truth. You know, I can walk in my truth. And that's what's going on. You see a lot of people, they live their life and they hide from their truth. But I'm thinking about getting into politics. That's why I'm starting with my show. You know, I'm going to try to do my best. And that's the way we really make change. If black people really want to see some change, get these ruthless, non-compassionate, evil dictator, black elected officials out of your city. Get Mayor Lori Lightfoot out of Chicago. She does not care about Chicago. Bro, Chicago has been hit. Do y'all know that this year we are breaking 25-year record-breaking crime? Or we're achieving 25-year record-breaking crime? 30-year record-breaking crime? Okay? That is what we're achieving this year in 2020. And that's because they keep talking about abolish the police, defund the police. Mayor Lance Bottoms in Atlanta needs to be out of there. And God bless Jesus that Paul Howard, the DA Paul Howard in Fulton County, got unseated. And that's what we needed, because he was corrupt, okay? And that was a win. You see, they didn't put that in no headlines nowhere, because they don't want people to know that Paul Howard out of there, okay? And the phony charges that they brought against Rayshard, Officer Brosnan, and Officer Rothman. I can't remember their names. I know it's Officer Brosnan and then Officer Rolfe, I think. Them, guess what? They gonna be all right. They gonna be all right. Because no, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this, guys. I'm gonna finish my rant. I'm calm now. Thank you for listening to me rant, guys. I'm just, you know, I'm just floored at the lack of compassion that is coming over the masses in America. There's no way that I could ever look at a 5-year-old child get shot, or hear about a 5-year-old child getting shot in the head and start thinking of reasons as to why, you know, as to why something else would trump that. And that's where we are today. That is scary. That is scary, bro. Just came across and I'm so glad I did. Thank you, Miss Maggie. I love you too. I love y'all. Thank you. Y'all sweet. I appreciate it. Thank you for the encouragement. But guys, no, this is not right. This is not right. I'm sad about this. I'm sad because I'm seeing, and then you see, I have people on my personal Facebook page, black people, keep talking about Black Lives Matter and justice for Floyd and justice for Taylor. And it's just like, man, take y'all crusty, y'all so uneducated. Y'all would never be talking about justice for these people if y'all really thought, y'all would never be putting Black Lives Matter on the backs of this stuff if y'all knew what Black Lives Matter stood for, okay? Because Black Lives Matter don't care. George Floyd was a black father, wasn't he? They don't give a damn about that. They don't care that he was a black father. They care that he was a criminal who got killed by the police. Something wrong there. That's exactly why they won't mention the death of our black children. How many black children have been slain this summer? How many? I could start rattling them off. And not even, then you got Cannon. Babies, like under age 10. How many? 1-year-old DeVal Gardner, 20-month-old Sincere Gaskin, 7-year-old Natalia Wallace, 8-year-old Royce DeMarco Giles Jr., 8-year-old Sequoia Turner, killed by a Black Lives Matter protester. Like, we could keep going on. Okay, this is ridiculous. And I will be dogged on if I'm ever sitting up here talking about justice for George Floyd over one of these kids. And they talking about, I saw somebody else saying, oh, it's just harder for our criminals. It's harder for the criminals who kill us to be prosecuted because we're black. Bro, at this point, people are not even making sense at all. What are you talking about? Because half of those murders that I just named off, guess what? Their murderers have not been caught. So try again. The only murderer that I know that got caught, because I don't know no murderers, but the only murderer that I know of that got caught was Sequoia's. And did y'all see her mama crying? Did y'all see her family all broken up? Do y'all know that Sequoia Turner died in the backseat of her mama's car and her mama's arms from a gunshot wound to the back? What are y'all doing? And y'all upset because of George Floyd? Boy, y'all about to have me get out of character, because honestly, it's not out of character because I've always been real blunt. If George Floyd would have gotten in the car and maybe shut his trap, he could have saved his breath and saved his life. And that's that. Guess what? That's that. So this makes this little boy's death okay because other children has been slain because of skin color. Please just. Oh, see, no, Robin. Oh, no, Robin. You haven't. Oh, guys, somebody let Robin know that she must have just tuned in because she don't know what she's talking about. Because, Robin, that's not at all what I've been saying. I've actually been saying the exact opposite of that. So when I get off live, maybe you can go back and listen to what I'm saying because I'm fighting the right fight. And so you're right to condemn anybody who's thinking like that, but that's not my case at all. I actually feel very saddened by the news about Cannon Hinnant, and I don't think anything justifies his death. And I think that it's wrong, beyond wrong. I think it's egregious. I think it's awful what happened. Yeah, guys. Yeah, Miss Robin. I'm sorry, Miss Robin. I think you just came in at the wrong time. No, I don't think that that's okay. I think that is very, very wrong, and that's exactly why I'm making the video. Because you see people trying to justify his death because he's a little white child, because he was a little white child. But that's not where I stand at all. I'm looking at the heinous act, and I'm looking at the actions of people. Who is saying his murder is right, left or right? I mean, you already know. You already know who's saying. I mean, honestly, yeah, it's leftist, but I'm almost like, dude, a lot of these people don't even identify with politics. They don't even know that they're being used by the leftists. They don't even know that they're being brainwashed by leftist agenda. You know what I'm saying? So, show proof. Who is saying his murder? Show proof? Okay, I mean, I will. I can't do it right now because I'm on my phone, but I'll post on my page. I'm sure you can go and look up a hashtag for Cannon Hinnant right now. Okay, you can stop looking at the live and you can go look at a hashtag right now for Cannon Hinnant and you can see all the comments of what people are saying about this young boy being shot. Okay, so the leftists. I don't know. I think maybe some of y'all are confused as to what my point is, because I'm definitely not on here talking about, okay, I might have to get off live now because I might just be done. I've said my piece. Okay, I'll catch y'all later. All right, coffee, not tea. Until the next cut.
How you guys doing? Good evening. It's Friday. I was listening to good evening to everybody. God bless everybody. Doing a little run right here at the beach. And flip the camera in a second. Taking a little run right here on a Friday. How you guys doing? It's a beach right there. You know, restaurants are opening over here. Everything's going back to normal. People are getting back little by little to their businesses. Let me just, while I'm taking this little jog, I want to talk to you guys for a minute on how the media never puts attention to what their narrative is. Never. Right now, in the United States of America, their narrative is that the white man is bad. It's always been their way. But right now, election time is coming up. And for everybody that is watching, flip the camera here for a little bit. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue. Border Network News and America's Voice. In a few minutes, my partner, Conservative Anthony, is going to be live broadcasting about the border and the border situation in El Paso, where the invasion continues and it's horrible. But before that, I wanted to touch on a subject real quick. And this is what I want to touch. Where is, man, Liberal Friday, huh? Liberal Friday right here. My God. I wanted to touch on a subject. Where's the media for Cannon? Where's the media for Cannon? As I was watching Dennis Michael Lynch right now, he's one of the guys that pretty much is bringing the assassination and the brutal assassination of Cannon Hinnant, this young kid of 5 years old. That was assassinated by a black man, 25-year-old black man, a gunshot in the head. Now, I want to ask you this question. Where is the media right now? Where is the media? Where is CNN interviewing the mom? Where is MSNBC interviewing the mother? Where is ABC interviewing the mom? I just watching Dennis Michael Lynch, and he was Googling what it was showing what the New York Times just said about the assassination of this young kid. The New York Times said that the mother of this guy, the assassin, and I don't remember his name. His last name Sassons or Seasons or whatever his last name. The guy that killed Cannon Hinnant. She said that that the guy was drugged up
And the guy was not stable. That he was drugged up, that he didn't know what he was doing. So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight because I live in Mexico, in Tijuana. So I want to get this straight to all the liberals and Democrats that they're saying that this has nothing to do with the race issue. So you got a George Floyd that he has a record of almost 4 felonies, right? George Floyd, a guy that has a record, I think with 4 felonies. 4 felonies, a record of 4 felonies. And immediately after that happened, George Floyd, riots, destruction, not only of the city of Minneapolis, but across the United States of America. Riots, unfairness, injustice, defund the police. So injustice. This cop took advantage of his power and that he assassinated a black man. By the way, he had 4 felonies. He's not a white, he's not a white bird. He's not a saint. He had 4 felonies, the guy. And of course, the liberals and Democrats are going to say that does not justify what the cop did. All right. Now, how old was Hinnant? He was what? 5? That he actually had a felony at 5 years old? A crime. What did this young soul, young kid do? What did this young kid do to society that it was so wrong? In comparison to the automatic destruction in regarding to George Floyd. 5 years old. 5 years of age. Not only that, if you go to the page of CNN, they're not even showing the crime that it was committed to Hinnant. They're not even showing it. If you go to MSNBC, try to do it right now. If you're with me, if you're running with me right now, or if you're just laying on the couch eating some French fries. But Google it right now. Google a black man killing a white man. Google that. And Google CNN on the last part. If you don't agree with it, then Google a white man killing a black man and put CNN on the last part. See the difference. The narrative right now that is being pushed by the leftists in terms to find injustice for Cannon, it is absolutely disrespectful. This is incredible how there's no media. There's a GoFund for supporting the family. CNN is not talking about it. And I'm doing this video because I want to ask you guys, go to Dennis Michael Lynch page and there's a GoFund right there that he's asking for $50,000 to give away to the family. Dennis Michael Lynch, great thing that you're doing, brother. And amazingly, nobody is talking about the GoFund to support the family. Do you know how much money was raised for George Floyd? Do you know actually how much money it was raised for George Floyd? Do you know how much? Millions. Millions. It was raised for George Floyd. 5 years of age. 5 years of age. No media is going to the mother. No media is going to talk to the family members. They don't want to touch the subject. Hell no. It's amazing. It's amazing, the narrative, the ridiculousness of CNN, MSNBC, fake news ABC, Telemundo, Univision. Nobody on Telemundo and Univision talked about what the President of the United States, Donald Trump, did to help the murder, the family of Vanessa Guillen, the woman, Hispanic, that it was brutally slaughtered and assassinated by a black man. Let me see if I can go through here. Believe that it's closed, so let me see if I can go through here. Nobody's talking about that. A woman brutally assassinated by a black man. We did a couple of rallies. People were excited. You know, let's find justice for Vanessa. Do you see people rioting right now? People for Cannon. Not only that, do you see rallies right now in the streets of North Carolina? Do you see destruction of buildings? Do you see that? Do you see looting because there's so much black on black crime that it's impossible to control it? And Black Lives Matter is not doing anything to control it. Black Lives Matter is supposed to be for black lives. Look at this beautiful view, man. Look at this. Long time since I've been in the beach, man. COVID. You just ruined everybody else's life. Thank you, China. Thank you, China. Amazing. You don't see nothing that is talking about that. Nobody. Hispanics, son ridículos. Los hispanos, los latinos que apoyan a Black Lives Matter, you are ridiculed, man. The Hispanics that support Black Lives Matter, you're complaining about me supporting Trump? And look what you're doing. You're supporting Black Lives Matter, an organization that has never supported Hispanics, Latinos, Mexicans, that is not doing anything about black on black crime. What are they doing in Chicago? For God's sake. Look what is happening in Chicago. Look what is happening in Chicago. Is Black Lives Matter saying something about it? Are they stopping the crime? No. Their narrative is of the white man. The white man is the one that takes advantage of us. The white man is the one that we need to prosecute. It's because of them. But you get a white little kid the white little kid, 5 years old, innocent, not knowing about what life is about, only riding his tricycle outside with their sisters, with his family, killed, and I will say it, by a black man. And he was drugged up. Justification like every time that he had mental problems. Killed by a black man. Nobody's doing anything about it. Why nobody's saying anything about it? Why there's no riots? Why there's no looting? 5 years of age. What justification you're gonna get that? And let me tell you something about that. let me touch another subject also. Where was Black Lives Matter with Legend Taliaferro? Where was it? Legend Taliaferro, you guys remember Legend Taliaferro? A 4-year-old killed by a drive-by. That's why they call it Operation Legend, in the memory of Legend Taliaferro. Where was Black Lives Matter before that? Where was it? Legend Taliaferro, a black kid killed on a drive-by by black on black crime. A thing that nobody's focused on, and not even Black Lives Matter is focused on that. Look at this stupid comment. This is what I like when stupid comments come into. So you're saying that Chicago is so bad because it's run by black people. Holy cow, man. Holy smokes. No. I'm saying that Chicago is so bad because the violence and delinquency is so horrible that their mayor, Lori Lightfoot, a Democrat, has not done nothing about it to defend it. I'm saying that. I'm saying that because Lori Lightfoot and the Democrats are running that city. They haven't protected the citizens, and they don't care. Not only about black on black crime. Don't you think that I don't know about the gangs in Chicago? The Latino Kings? All the gangs that are occurring in Chicago, that is horrible. The violence that is occurring not only for Latinos, but black on blacks. Why nobody say nothing about Cannon? I'm asking you a question. Is it a justification, your question and your comment? Is it a justification? I will tell you what's wrong with this right now with the United States of America. I will tell you what's wrong with it. Do you know? I will tell you one word. One word. Just for you to understand what's wrong with the United States of America and who's dividing your country and who's the personal responsible for not putting attention to a 5-year-old kid that got assassinated by a black man and nobody's putting attention to that. The narrative, the nerve. One word I will tell you. The word is Democrats. That's the word. That is the word. Disgusting. Where is the fairness? Where is the justice, the equality of race? Where is it? You don't see it. Why do you don't see it? Because the kid was white. Imagine if the kid would have been black. What would have happened if the kid would have been black? Do you know what would have happened? Do you know what would have happened if the kid would have been black? Do we actually know? The GoFund would have been, already in the millions. CNN and MSNBC would have been knocking on the door of the parents. Black Lives Matter will be outside of the streets of North Carolina, rioting. They already would have put the killer with the Confederate flag and the Make America Great Again cat, and that he follows Trump, right? Right? Because he's white, flip the script because that kid was not black. That kid was white. And it got killed by a black man. Where's the justice on that? Why nobody is rioting in Texas for Vanessa Guillen, a Hispanic woman, beautiful, that it was serving your country with all honor and respect? Where were the riots with that? A black man slaughtered Vanessa Guillen, killed Vanessa Guillen, assassinated Vanessa Guillen. Were there riots? Looting? They weren't, huh? Now with the kid, are there riots, looting? Have you gone to the mother's page to see what she has been writing? Do you know what she's been writing according to Dennis Michael Lynch? You guys want to hear what she's been writing according to Dennis Michael Lynch? Sad. The mother's tore it up, messed up. The mother's writing, I'm waiting for you. Press, media, I'm waiting for you. I'm right here outside of my door. I'm waiting for you. Come. Please, make this go viral. Let everybody in the country know what is happening over here. Huh? That's the mom writing on her Facebook page. Where's the media? Where's the mainstream media helping me out like they were helping George Floyd? My God, when George Floyd died, media conferences like this. Family talking about the 400 years of slavery, getting back in history, right? Sports figures. Basketball was, kneeling down. Major League Baseball kneeling down. The NHL kneeling down. Every sport in the world with a t-shirt that says Black Lives Matter outside on the back. Instead of their name on the t-shirt, put all Black Lives Matter. Enough is enough. All that stuff, right? Go to the GoFundMe of the family of Canon Hinnant. Go. You got sports figures paying a multi-million GoFund to George Floyd. 5 years of age. Nobody's talking about the GoFund of this kid. Huh? Where's the fairness? And I know how you liberals, you gotta flip it. Do you want to know how you're gonna flip it? Sai, I know how you think. I've been around the block, I know how you think. You're gonna say this. How does it feel? You're gonna tell it to the white people. First of all, because you're extremely racist and you don't think with your head. You think with that empty brain that is inside, that is full with hate. So you're gonna say, how does it feel? The first one. Second one is gonna say, that has nothing to do with abuse of power and police brutality. Second one. And the third one, you're gonna say, the man had drug problems, psychological problems, and that's why he did it. He had problems in the past. That's why he did it, right? Those are your justifications, your top three. I'm already ready. I'm ready. And I got your answers right here. I got your answers right here. You're gonna say, how does it feel when you don't know the death rate of Hispanics and Latinos also? When you don't know that the top statistics and stats of abuse of power and police brutality is against whites? Why don't you ask them, how does they feel? White privilege? You're gonna talk about white privilege? All these basketball players that they're making billions and millions. Oprah, right? You're gonna say that this has nothing to do with race, right? This has nothing to do with race. Go to CNN and Google a white man killing a black man. There's a lot of murders that does not have to do with race. But it's because it's a black man against a white man and a white man against a black man. Your media, you liberals, all of you, push your narrative, right? It's not gonna work, buddy. A lot of people are opening their eyes. And third of all, you're gonna say, my God, he was drugged up. He had mental problems. He was not all there. You know, Commission International of Human Rights, get in there and save him. All right. Do you remember the tragedy of El Paso? A white kid going in there and assassinating more than 20 people, the tragedy of El Paso. And immediately all the media started talking about his hat, the Make America Great Again hat, and that he was a racist kid. And they started flipping it like he has mental problems. Right? But what you said immediately, no, he doesn't have mental problems. He did it on purpose because full of hate, because he supported Trump. Right? A crime is a crime. You did it. You done it. You pay your dues. Exactly like all these pedophiles and child traffickers that they're out there in your communities, in your societies. All these people that they got tendencies of pedophilia and child molestation. These people that they're put out there to society again after they did their time, that their crime was dropped. All these people, they need to be brought to justice. There's no justice there, right? But you flip the script immediately. You flip the script immediately. And you make people understand that this murder was not a race card. That this murder has nothing to do with race. Right? That this was just a black man, and not in his 5 senses of his head, assassinating a kid. A 5-year-old kid. Right? That's what you're saying, right? That he was drugged up. Immediately putting justification to his murder. And instead of holding it accountable and taking him to prison, my God, I put a death penalty on that guy. You're gonna say, no, he needs to go to a hospital. Right? Because he's not okay in the brain, right? Hold on, let me go up the stairs right here. Look at this. Change the camera for you guys. Let me go up the stairs right here. Buenas tardes. Amazing. Dennis Michael Lynch was talking about it right now on his page, and he was saying this, that it's almost a really concerning thing about how the media and society is handling this. Because it's not only the media, it's how society is handling this situation. Nobody knows about this kid. Nobody's talking about what happened to him. But all these media and Black Lives Matter organizations and all these nonprofits that immediately they want to jump on the wagon to support George Floyd when that George Floyd thing happened. Everybody was doing it, right? Everybody. And now that you get a 5-year-old kid nobody's talking about it. Horrible. CNN media, MSNBC media, ABC, New York Times, one of the biggest newspapers in the world. New York Times not talking about it. They just said something today. A week later, they started saying something. Holy cow. A week later, New York Times. Washington Post, the Washington Times. Nobody goes and knocks on the mother's door and says, you know what? Are you okay? Are you, mentally okay? Can we support you? What about the GoFundMe for the family? Nobody's talking about that. Please, people. The only thing that I can do on my end is to share from a guy that is trying to do the best to help this situation. His name is Dennis Michael Lynch. You guys know him. He's really famous. As I was watching his video, I follow him, and he's starting a GoFundMe for $50,000 to deliver those $50,000 to the family of Canon Hinnant. If you guys want to support, go over there to Dennis Michael Lynch. Ask first, send a message, investigate first how the process is, and try to help. Why? Because all these liberal leftist media is not doing anything about that. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, they want Donald Trump to push it. Oh my God. Right now in this election time, they want Donald Trump to speak about this. Oh man, the leftists are waiting. The Democrats and the liberals are waiting. Whew. They're waiting so bad to talk about it. The president is too smart for them. He's not going to talk about it. Why is that? Because exactly as they're pushing every time their narrative, they're going to push the president into being only preoccupied of a white kid. And now you're going to divide. Why you never did anything for George Floyd? You never spoke about George Floyd. Why you have never spoke about other black people dying? Why are you only speaking about this young kid? Leftists, they're like that, inconsiderate. They don't care about anything. That's why. That's why the president hasn't talked about it. He knows the heavy burden and the heavy bag that he's going to carry if he talks about it. Disgusting what the media is doing. CNN, MSNBC, all these pieces of crap media, what they're doing. A complete irresponsibility to not handle the death and the assassination of Canon Hinnant. Horrible assassination. Got killed by a gunshot in the head. 5 years of age. 5 years. Not 20, not 25, not 30. He was not going to college. He didn't live alone. He didn't have a family to maintain. No. He was 5 years. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody. Huh. Talk about fairness. Talk about the left and the Democrats and all the media not putting attention to the death rate statistics with abuse of power and police brutality. Abuse of power and police brutality. First is whites, then is blacks, and then it's Hispanics. But we live as Mexican people with this idea, brainwashed by Democrats, that we cannot accomplish anything, that we cannot do anything because of the white privilege. We cannot accomplish nothing. They create victims instead of creating better citizens. They create victims instead of better citizens. They create the terminology minority. They make you believe that you're a minority, that you're this little, that you're small, that you're not important to society because you're a minority. Your population of your race is minority, small. They make you understand you're degrading yourself. No, everybody's created equal. doesn't matter the color of the skin. Right? So if that is the fact, why nobody's talking about this 5-year-old kid? Nobody. I'm Mexican. I was born in Mexico. I was born in Tijuana, Baja California. And this right now, muy buenas tardes, señora. This right now is a world topic. It's a world topic. Why? Because every single right-wing media, and not only right-wing media, every single leftist media in Europe and Central America, this little hill, and in South America, they're saying, what the hell is going on? Why nobody's putting attention to this? Why this is not news? This is huge. Why? We got 3 months, less than 3 months for election. 81 days, almost, for election. Nobody wants to talk about it. Oh, no. Let's keep pushing the Black Lives Matter card. Black Lives Matter card. Let's keep pushing that a white cop murdered a black man. Let's keep pushing the white privilege. Let's keep pushing that it's unfair for all people of color. Let's keep pushing that blacks, they're entitled to insult now. And they're not being held accountable for what they're doing. Let's keep pushing for that. The disrespect of the Constitution and law and order. That's what Democrats want. But are they talking about this 5-year-old kid? No. Why not? Because it doesn't fit their agenda. Hell no. It doesn't fit their agenda. Why? Because if they talk about it, they're going to mention the color of the skin of the kid. The color of the skin of the kid, was he black? No, he was white. No, don't talk about it. No, that is going to overshadow what happened to George Floyd. George Floyd, a guy that had 4 felonies. 4, not 1, 4. Right? Not only that, a kid with 5 years old. Compare those situations. Totally different scenarios, Democrats are going to say. Liberals are going to say. The injustice that the people of color have suffered all their lives, right? We are living in times of oppression and psychological oppression by Democrats. Oh, todos los hispanos, los latinos, nos quieren lavar el coco. Que no podemos, que no se puede, que es imposible. To all the Hispanics and Latinos, they're telling us that it's impossible, that it can't be done, that we are oppressed, that we are victims, that we cannot do it, that we cannot overcome, that we cannot have that beautiful car, that beautiful house, that great job, that great opportunity. They're putting this crap in our heads every time. Look at this comment. I don't even want to read it. It's so embarrassing. My moderator and my manager is looking at it right now. Believe me. It's amazing. It's amazing. And then it continues. It continues. As a Mexican, I can tell you that this has to do a lot with how Democrats had put oppression into minorities. That they make you think that you're a minority since you were born. I have talked about this for the longest of time. How they tell you the Border Patrol is bad. They're white. The United States Customs is bad when you're about to cross the border. They're white. Law enforcement in the United States, watch out. They're white. Politicians in the White House, they're all white. The United States is ruled by whites. As you're starting to grow, and as you're starting to be responsible, and growing up, and understanding that being a liberal, it doesn't solution anything, but living on your mama's basement and getting money out of your daddy's pockets, you start understanding the responsibilities of life. And you start understanding that almost 52% of the military in the United States of America are Latinos and Hispanics. What? I thought they told me when I was a young kid that they were white. They told me that they were all white. No. 52% of the military, Marine Corps, Navy, Army, they're Hispanic, Latinos, and people of color. Thought that they were white. You start to understand that when you see a border patrol and you see him from far away, is it dark or is it just me? And you approach him and he's Hispanic. What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? They told me that they were white, all of them. Not only that, you're trying to cross the border in a vehicle, and you go to the port of entry, and you say hi to the United States Custom, and you see his last name, and his last name is Garcia, Hernandez, Rodriguez. What the hell's going on? But all my life they told me that they were white. Politicians and Democrats, how many of them have been black? How many of them have been Hispanic? How many? Brainwash. Indoctrination. Since we are young. Since we are young, they make us believe that we cannot do it. So they will have the control. Do you know how? Another example. DACA. What did President Trump just wanted to do? He said, DACA, all you DACA recipients, you guys are paying, every 2 years you're paying a humongous amount to stay in the United States and to have a status. To the Democrats. Donald Trump said, hold on a minute. I can get you a pathway for citizenship. Stop paying. And everybody started saying, hell no. He's trying to take away DACA. But wait a minute, he's trying to find a pathway to citizenship. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Why? Because he's white. But wait a minute, flip the script. Let's take away Donald Trump and let's put Obama in there. What would have happened if Obama would have said, I'm going to eliminate DACA and I'm going to put a pathway to citizenship? What would have happened? Immediately like this, everybody would have accepted. Brainwashing of the brain. Indoctrination. Complete indoctrination to make us understand that the white man is the bad one. When it's a political party and it's this Democrats and liberals that they are in the political party. As exactly as the situation that is occurring right now with the murder of Cannon. Exactly like that. God bless you all. Go to my partner's page right now, Conservative Anthony, as he is live right now, broadcasting enormous and phenomenal footage of the border at El Paso. He's live right now. Go to Conservative Anthony, his page. He's live. Join him as he is broadcasting the invasion. It continues. This immigration system that is so broken of the United States, full with loopholes, where they are creating fake marriages and fake families so they can keep on cheating and crossing illegally to the United States of America. Go over there and watch the live feed with my partner of Border Network News, Conservative Anthony. God bless you all. Follow my page as Oscar Blue. Also subscribe to Conservative Anthony's YouTube channel as Conservative Anthony, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel as Oscar Blue. God bless you all. Gonna continue to go and run. Stay safe, and like we always say, peace and love, everybody, because always your country's first.